Fancy.
A happy Monday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato, as Caesar, the top Caesar brand in the country with over 400 million cans crushed by Canadians every single year. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. And joining us, he's your weatherman.
Yeah.
Josh Classen from CTV. Josh,
How are you?
I'm great.
This
How
is
are
a great
you?
setup you guys have.
Thank you, Josh.
I've been
it. Great
waiting
to
to
see
get you in here. Like I
Why?
want to do you proud.
I know. We've been talking about this for a long time.
But no, this is one that
happened.
this is one like I was very excited to show you what we've done here, and
It's good.
there's not a lot of people that I'm that excited to show what we've done here. You're one of those people.
I'm really impressed. You guys have, and it sounds awesome. It looks awesome. I don't often watch on the YouTube. I just listen on TuneIn, and yeah, it's my wife. I was listening today, and she's like,
wife.
Yeah. She's like, I thought there wasn't sports talk anymore in this city. I'm like, no, where have you been? They started their own. She's like, what do you mean they started their own? Like, yeah, they just started their own. She's like, well, how is that any different than what they were doing before? I'm like, well, now they just work for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Great.
You weren't telling her about this in the last 3 months.
She hears it on my phone as I'm making breakfast in the morning for the kids. But yeah, she had no idea until I told her I was coming in today. She's like, oh, that's what you're doing? Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
We didn't have you on much at 1260.
No, I know.
Never worked.
I know.
I blame myself.
The timing, you should.
Yes.
The timing was bad for that morning show and for me, and then I would go on in the afternoon. There was a slot. There was a time there where the afternoon slot.
Yes, we don't need to go into that. That should have been done so much better than it actually was. But we could discuss that one off the air.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, actually. I really did. We rotated a few of you guys through that show a little bit, too, until we settled in on you.
Yeah.
And it still couldn't get going the way it needed to.
No.
So,
Why didn't we have... Anyway, I was going to say, why didn't we have you on more? You're a big sports guy.
it's a great question.
Yeah.
It's a great question. It's one of those, we screwed up on that one. But also
I
time
had an
wise.
ISDN line into my house for like 5 years.
Actually?
He'd do
'cause I
Virgin
used
Morning
to
Show.
do Virgin. I used to do the Bear Morning Show.
Why didn't we do that?
And it was all set up.
yeah.
Kodak 4 was locked down just for Josh because it was his in the morning.
I think it all came down to there was once I was on Hot Takes.
Were you on Hot Takes?
Yeah, once. And it went so miserably that I think that was, they were like, oh, Dusty was like, no, he's not, no, we can't have him on anymore.
You know what? At
I don't
least
remember
you did
those.
Not
it.
entertaining
'Cause
enough.
I never went on hot takes. I refused. I got too nervous.
It was hard.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And I don't really have a whole lot of hot takes. Well, I do, but I just don't want to say them on air. Right? That's the problem.
I have hot takes. It's just to get them
Yeah,
to
you do.
5 for the 1 week.
Right.
It's a little hard.
Yes.
And I also beat Titch in the Tournament of Champions.
That's
and
impressive.
Yeah.
I wasn't given the win. Nairman didn't give it to me. She gave it to Titch, and afterwards said how much she regretted that. Like I should have won, and I was like, okay, well, I'm never doing hot takes again. So that was the reason why I never do hot takes. It's
Okay.
rigged. It was rigged against me.
Look at you. All you do is back out of things. Hey,
Yep.
back out of commissioner, back out of hot takes.
Look at this. Josh knows.
It was the
Josh knows.
I don't want to relive the draft and commish here,
Just the
Josh.
truth
I don't
hurts.
want I've moved on with my life. I'm enjoying life now. Weight is off my shoulder.
Sure.
They're gonna destroy Quinn Phillips. I will be there to help pick the pieces back up of Quinn and put her back together once they are just awful to her and they look for their next commissioner.
I don't know about you
That's my
guys,
next role. So
I'll tell you what.
yeah.
I have a hell of a lot more respect for Quinn Phillips as commissioner than Matthew Iwanyk. So I think she's
And
going to
she
be just
hasn't
fine.
even been commissioner yet.
That's how good she is, or how bad Iwanyk is.
she hasn't made
She's
a decision
the new
yet.
John Ziegler.
Yeah, that's right. She's John Ziegler. That's a low bar.
I'm good. I'm more than okay. The fact that I don't have Tommy's respect's not a big deal to me.
As commissioner.
Yeah, it's not a big
In
deal. to
general,
me.
you do.
Yeah, no, I know. And
Yeah.
I have respect for you in general, but as a commissioner, if I was looking for the respect of you, Dusty, Eric, and Jay Milne, I'd have a lot of problems in my life.
You can't be a commissioner and be
Look
looking
for the respect. No, not
Yeah,
a
that's a
chance.
good point.
I don't need any of that.
Boo. Solidarity. Here.
Yeah.
I like how
Yeah,
you
none of
Good.
you had
That was a
solidarity.
great draft, though.
It was a fun day.
Yeah.
We had a fun day. I
Yeah.
will say that.
The best part about that draft
Yeah.
is the fact that your mic wouldn't work after
It was
everything
fitting.
that went on.
And I had it working that week.
Your mic wouldn't work.
I tested it. It worked. And then once everyone was in here, it wouldn't work, which, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
See, again,
tried
I don't need these
everything.
problems. I don't need to worry about the tech anymore. You guys could do that.
It worked well.
Good luck with that.
I'm tech illiterate.
That's not my problem now. You guys don't need me. Figure it out.
As commissioner.
That's fine. That's the commissioner's role then. Quinn could go deal with that.
But you handle all the tech issues around here.
I'm not. That's not during the draft. Not during the draft.
I think you guys are having two different conversations.
You're right.
How's it been being the weatherman of Edmonton this past little while?
Oh, you mean because it's been so warm?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, no.
No one's mad at you. No one's frustrated. No one's swearing that snow's coming.
Yeah, we could use some.
We absolutely could.
Some moisture.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was welcome. Last night.
Yeah, the thing is that's not going to amount to all that. That's not really that much moisture that you're going to get out of that. We need tons and tons of snow, and then lots of rain in the spring to really sort of put an end to the drought. But it'll snow eventually. It's going to get cold. It will be winter eventually. This is just sort of shortening winter now. So
I'm all for that. I know
I
that
would
there's the
say-
consequences
I
to
know,
it, and I'm fully aware of those, and that part I'm worried about. But also, when you're living in it, it's okay.
There's
I'm okay with that.
80% of people that I talk to that are on the same page as you that are like, I know this is bad, but I kind of like it.
Once in a while, next year we could have a bad winter.
Sure.
Like in terms of snow in all of November, December, January, February.
We had a good cold stretch last year. We'll get some
We've
cold
had those.
temperatures.
We always hit minus 40. That's coming.
We never hit minus 40. What are you talking about? We haven't hit minus 40 in the
Well,
city.
in my mind, either minus 4 or wind chill or minus 40.
Okay.
So we always, at least the screen shows minus 40 in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
At least once a year.
Yes. All right. Not really all that often, but
You don't think we get like minus 40, like wind chill even? Not even like overnight or something?
yeah, not all that often.
Really?
No, not. Well, I mean, you
don't know.
get one or two a year, but
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we at least once a year we hit it.
Yeah, for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good enough for me.
that's all you need.
That's all I need. We do it. It happens.
yeah.
That's Edmonton.
No, I mean it always warms up. It always gets cold in December and January. It's abnormally warm right now and abnormally dry. So
It's El Nino.
it is El Nino right now. Sorry, I apologize that I'm drinking water. You may. I offered Maddie to put a mask on. I've got a bit of a cold.
Oh,
so-
that's okay. I was sick.
He's
last
on the
week.
back end of it.
Yeah.
We're all good.
I'm past the contagious part.
Josh, you're all good.
Okay. What was I saying?
I said it was El Nino.
Oh,
And you
it
said
is. It
yes.
is El Nino. It's expected to last until the spring, and then, but the residual effects will carry through probably the summer. But technically, by the summer, we're probably out of El Nino and back into neutral. So, most El Nino winters are milder and a little bit drier than average. Although precipitation doesn't really. It's hard to actually do precipitation with El Ninos because it's so variable from spot to spot. So, but. On average, warmer than normal.
Do you notice I went to his weather voice kind of?
Yes,
Like transitioned
I
very
actually did
nicely
Pick up on that.
into his weather.
I was like, there he is.
There's the work
There's
guy.
Josh.
There's
Yeah.
Josh Classen, chief
Yeah.
meteorologist, CTV Edmonton, right there.
Yeah, there it is. On the topic, Bones wants to know if I could ask Josh to explain the adiabatic heating and cooling process caused by the Rocky Mountains
So
and
he wants to know about
affects Edmonton
Chinooks.
weather.
So it doesn't really affect Edmonton's weather as much.
Yeah.
If you're closer to the Rockies. So what happens is as air rises the western side of the Rockies, the moisture condenses out and you get clouds on that side, and so it cools off slower than it warms up on the other side because it's dry air coming down the other side. So really sort of. These aren't the exact numbers, but it'll make it a little easier to understand. So if you had a 3-kilometer high mountain and it was cooling off at 1 degree per kilometer, it would cool off from 10 degrees to 7 on that side.
Oh.
Then it warms up at like 1.5 degrees on the other side. So now it's warming up 5 degrees on the other side. So now all of a sudden, all you did was move air over the mountain, and then now it's warmer on the other side because it's drier. So if you're in the Chinook areas,
Right.
that's how you get a Chinook. Here we don't. We're too far away from the mountains to actually get Chinooks. We get the warm sort of residual flow off of that, but technically not a Chinook in Edmonton.
There you go, Bones. Josh explained it.
Good pronunciation of
Did I-
adiabatic.
I didn't know
really
if-
well done.
That was the first
Is
time
that
I've ever
inversion?
seen that one.
The adiabatic lapse
Is that
rate.
what people call inversion?
No, inversion is when it's warmer than it is down at the ground.
So the same spot.
Yeah. So
Okay.
typically it gets cooler as you go higher, but sometimes out ahead of a warm front, you get warm air that sits on top of cold air at the surface.
Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. I don't even know why I'm going to solicit this, but if you have any weather questions for Josh, fire away.
That's a question.
Like sports
Do you get
questions,
an-
absolutely. Go for it.
Do you get
Yeah,
annoyed
the
by
Knicks are
weather
gonna win
questions
tomorrow.
sometimes?
There you go.
We'll get to the Knicks because I do. But like, do you get because sometimes I always feel bad. Like, I'd be preparing like an Elks pregame show. I was like, what's the weather?
Why would you feel bad
But
for that?
I don't know if like you're just like if you ever like I just want to be off the clock and not deal with weather.
No.
Do you ever get to
One
that?
of the only things I know. And someday people will stop asking me about the weather, and that'll be a sad day.
That would be a sad.
So no.
No?
Don't ever. If you're watching and you see me in Sobeys
At the golf course.
or wherever at the golf course, yes, ask me about the weather. It's fine. I don't.
Just
I
not
don't-
mid-show.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Just not mid show.
Just don't mention the Jets, okay?
Well, we're going there too.
Uh-oh. Zach Wilson, what up?
He's coming back. We got.
Are you excited about this?
about bringing him back?
Yeah.
I'm more excited than seeing Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian again.
Do you know what the biggest mistake the Jets made this year?
Letting go of Joe Flacco.
No. Mike White.
Yeah, no.
He was the guy that they should have kept as the backup because when he came in last year,
yes, but
he
you know
played
why
well.
They did that
Because you got Zach Wilson.
Well, you have Zach Wilson. They wanted to give him another shot, and Zach and Aaron Rodgers are buddies, and so they thought, okay, well, Zach can mentor underneath Aaron Rodgers, and then it all went up in smoke.
What do you think?
Or
Zach-
Right before you even got home from your shift
Yeah.
at CTV.
I didn't even see it happen because
was
it kicked off. I'm
innocuous.
driving.
Yeah.
My dad. I'm talking to my parents on the phone.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, "Uh-oh." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "No. That was a real uh-oh."
That was legit.
And he's like, "Oh, Aaron's down. Oh no, he's standing up again. It's fine." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So I pull into my driveway 10 minutes later.
Yep.
And as I'm like, "Okay, see you guys. I'm gonna go watch this game." And my dad goes, "Just so you're prepared when you go inside." And that's when I knew. I was like, "Oh, the season's over
Yeah.
already, isn't it?"
He couldn't even get home from his shift to watch his
I
Jets
know.
play on a prime time in week one.
What was that? The
without
fourth play
disaster.
of the series? Third play, fourth play.
Fourth play.
Yeah, I was
fourth
watching
play.
and I was like, that doesn't look good. And then he
So you
just kinda
can't.
stood
Everybody
there.
that's calling for Robert Saleh's head.
Are people calling for his head?
Oh yeah.
How's the defense been the last few weeks? I haven't paid attention.
Defense has been good.
Yeah,
Defense
they've
has
still been top there?
No, defense has been good. The defense
So then what
is
can you do?
fine. The problem is you have no offensive line.
Yeah.
They started their 9th different O-line combination yesterday. 9. They were on like their 3rd string lineman. There was a game they had their 3rd string. He was on the practice squad, and all of a sudden he's at center, snapping balls. They fumbles the very first one.
Yeah, that happens.
No, that should not happen. It should not.
Well, I mean, then you've got Green Bay, whose O-line has been the exact same for like the last 9 games.
Yeah.
I think that was a stat yesterday.
No, it's terrible. Yeah, and so you can't bring Aaron Rodgers back.
But he signed for another year and he wants to come back.
No,
so
I
he
mean
can-
you can't bring him
This
back
year.
this year.
Oh.
He will get destroyed. No one will look good behind that offense.
But how much is he going to dictate that? If he wants to show everyone else, I'm better, I'm superhuman, I'm taking to this field. Do you think
No.
the
Yeah.
Jets going to tell him no?
No.
And how much of it do
He's
you
not
think?
dumb. Did you see him on? It wasn't on TV. So
I wasn't
I
watching.
punish myself and I have the zone so I can watch
Yeah.
all of these horrible.
It's like me with the
Jets
Cardinals.
games. Yeah. They
Painful.
look good yesterday though.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could see him standing on the sidelines next to Zach Wilson, and he is like muttering about how brutal their offensive line is.
So why would he play there next year? They're going to really improve
Well-
the offensive line next year?
I don't.
Get a couple of guys.
There's always hope.
I still like,
Gazzola,
with all
Bills.
disrespect, or all due respect to the
Yeah,
Jets,
sure.
and I'm not trying to
That's-
disrespect
it's
them or
usually
anything. Yeah, that's. I just can't believe he still went to the Jets. It went to the AFC. Like that's such a tough conference. You think you're getting the Super Bowl through the AFC?
Well, you're gonna get it through the NFC.
Better chance in the AFC.
Who
At least
are the-
going into this
who
year.
are the top 4 teams in football right now? 3 of them are in the NFC, wouldn't they?
Yeah. San Fran, Philly. I'd say Miami. Dallas, I guess.
Miami,
yeah.
Baltimore, KC, still
Dallas's
KC. I don't care what
defense
happened
looks
yesterday. When the
great.
playoffs come, KC's going to turn it on. Never count out KC.
Yeah.
They still got Patrick Mahomes.
But
Last
they
year
only
he
have
was
to go
hurt.
through the AFC.
Pardon?
They only have to go through the AFC. The AFC is. I
It's
thought
hard.
the AFC was going to be so much
Me too.
harder
But
this year, and it is not.
if Josh Allen gets to the playoffs, I'm worried about Josh Allen and the Bills.
Oh, I'm not worried about Josh.
Once he gets
They're
his legs
so
moving,
all over the map this year.
because he doesn't run enough, Josh Allen. And once Josh Allen starts running, because they're trying to make sure he doesn't get hurt for the playoffs, once he starts running, they're a much better football team.
Agreed, but
Maybe there's more
hate the
top end
Bills.
talents, a little bit more in the NFC, but the overall AFC is going to be a lot stronger.
no. You mean parity wise?
It's going to. He's not getting the playoffs next year with the Jets. Calling that right now.
Whoa, are you kidding me?
Not happening.
They would be
Not
with that defense if he hadn't gotten injured.
I
they
know
would
you
be
predicted
a
them to win the
legit-
division
They would have won the division
over the Dolphins.
for sure.
Have you seen Aaron Rodgers last couple of years? He's not Aaron Rodgers of the past,
I know, but
and he didn't bring any. Look,
all that team they don't need.
They don't have
Aaron
an
Rodgers
offensive
of the
line.
past. Well, right
So what
now,
if
right
Aaron
now
Rodgers
they
have done?
don't.
Yeah,
right
well,
now they don't.
You know who doesn't need an offensive line?
All they needed was. Well, you saw it with Mike White last year. You just needed an upgrade on Mike White and Zach Wilson. That's all you needed.
to win a division.
Yes, that's all. That defense is for real.
Josh, you
Yes.
guys, your team should have gone for Josh Dobbs.
Yeah,
He does not need an offensive line
No,
to have minimal success, which is what he generally gets.
yeah, but Josh Dobbs didn't look like this Josh Dobbs
True.
in Arizona.
No, he did not.
And there's a I mean, didn't he get cut from Pittsburgh twice?
Yeah. And then where did they pick him up from?
But
Tampa?
then he just shows up, and that's what I don't understand. Is
He's
how-
a rocket
how
scientist.
He is
Yeah.
legitimately.
Yes.
You know who else is a rocket scientist?
Who?
No, sorry, his parents are T-Pain.
Seriously.
Both of his parents are actually rocket scientists.
You would know that.
Is it T-Pain or Lil Jon? One of the two. I get the two of them confused.
As you would.
Well, they're basically the same person, aren't they?
Josh knows
don't know.
weather. Josh knows sports. Josh knows the rap game.
He's a full rapper.
I know.
Had a couple shows this year.
Actually, we get another one January 24th at Winterruption.
Damn. Okay, so
What's
I knew you
Winterruption?
were a rapper.
Winterruption is one of those
Like winter festivals?
many winter festivals
Where?
downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah.
Information on this? Do you have any idea? What was it called?
If you Google, we're on the same bill as DJ Newmark is from Jurassic 5. Do you know who
Really?
Jurassic 5 is?
Yeah, I remember Jurassic 5.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're lying.
What was the festival called?
Winterruption.
They did it last year. It was really good. It was like little concert series like all over the city. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was great.
So my buddy RJ,
Yeah.
and we've got a group, Jing and Jock, and so we performed with the super band at Blues on White.
Yes.
On the 28th of October, and then we were at the Starlight Room in the Temple on
Great.
On the 11th.
Great venue.
So now we're January 24th.
I love this. And I knew this about you. I remember when I worked in Lloydminster, CKSA, CITL,
All the good ones come through CKSA.
Shake and bake.
That's right.
And I met your parents. I had to interview your dad, I believe,
Yeah.
at one point.
My
and
dad's he's a bit of a legend. In
he's a
Lloydminster,
legend,
yeah.
absolutely. And then people were like, "Do you know Josh was a rapper?" I think Stacey Comer told me that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Comer.
Josh Classen. She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No way. What?"
Yeah. So was Greg Buchanan still there when you were at CKSA in Lloyd?
Bucky had left.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I know
yeah.
the legend of him.
So because when I worked at CKSA in Lloyd, it was before, but it was well before Eminem, right? Or before any real white rappers, and so Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice was the only sort of contemporary.
Right.
So Bucky used to call me Canola Ice because I was from Lloydminster, which I still
Canola Ice.
Look at the picture.
legendary.
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's a good photo.
That is a
Yeah,
good
thank you.
photo.
Yeah.
Winterruptionyag.com.
Yeah.
That's for more information on your show.
We're pretty hyped to perform on the same stage as DJ Newmark.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. But because we care about Jurassic 5 and all those guys.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna have to
love
find more.
that.
Might have to head on.
I
up.
love that. The more you learn, and then with the star in the rainbow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's what I did way before I did this.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
I love that you're back in it.
Yeah, me too.
Rap game.
Yeah.
Me too. My wife does not. She
No?
does not. No, she doesn't
Why?
support it. She thinks it's cheesy. Embarrassing.
Come on. You're an artist.
That's what I keep telling her. I'm a
Yes.
scientist and an artist.
Yes.
Yes.
You're performing a show. That's a
know.
full artist.
Yeah. I know.
Did you still do the Halloween song with Robbie?
We didn't this year.
No?
No, Robbie did his own, which was really good. No, we did one last year. We did a Christmas song last year with Robbie. But then that was kind of it. So I think
that's
it's
with
easier.
Kiss.
It's just hard for everything to all kind of come together. So, yeah.
Because those are always really good.
They were great.
Robbie's brilliant
Yeah.
with his production. He's like one of the best producers we have in our city.
Yep.
You know, on radio, straight up.
Robbie the intern?
Yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Great
Just
dude.
an awesome dude. But they'd always do like a Halloween song and stuff. And
Yeah, we got like 6 Halloween songs, 5 or 6
did that
Halloween
start
songs and
when
a couple
he was
of
in the
Christmas
same
songs.
building?
Yes.
Is that when those began?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions
Early
coming in.
2000s, mid 2000s. Okay, what are these questions?
Enough already. Let's
Enough.
talk rap. I want to hear a nasty freestyle. Joshua. That comes in from RCN, who dropped a Joshua. Wow.
Whoa, that's good.
bold. I don't want to put you on the spot right now.
I am a Joshua. by the
Well,
way. Yeah.
I'm a Thomas, but
Are you really?
yeah.
Tomas.
Yes, that's what my Nona calls me. Yeah. Then another one says, obvious Knicks fan, but does Josh have an NFL team? Jets, obviously. But MLB, this is from Filthy from Calgary.
Yeah.
MLB?
No.
No MLB? You're like me, just a nomad.
I could never get into baseball.
I love baseball.
I like baseball. Playoff baseball?
The best.
I don't like regular season baseball.
It's too long.
Yeah, it's...
There's other things to do in the summer.
Yes.
Except go to Riverhawks games.
Like
That's
watch
good
golf
baseball.
and play golf.
Did you watch any of this weekend?
I watched the Hero, and you know what? Okay, so anybody that complains about Live being non-competitive should watch that Hero. And there's
Yeah, but it's not a
was
real event.
Terrible.
But it's not a real
I understand
event.
it was
It's
not
not
a
like
real
we're.
event,
It's
but
not
it
like we're
was-
talking about FedEx,
it
like
was
full,
terrible.
full fields and all of that. Well, it was decent golf.
No, it was bad. It was painful to watch, horrible to watch. And now I watched a lot of Live.
Really?
If Rombo goes,
That's the big rumbling, big money.
I know.
But we're also still trying to figure out. Well, that's because now it's the same thing.
they're
They're going to be combined. We're still trying to figure out what everything's going to happen.
The problem
but
with Live, from
hate
a
the broadcast.
viewer standpoint, the broadcast is brutal.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, like unwatchably bad.
And even like the announcers, they keep trying to tell you how great Live is and all this. It's like, just don't be
Yeah.
PR right now.
Yeah.
Just talk about the golf.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're not good. And then when you're coming from CBS, NBC,
I agree.
You're
Although
sitting
it
there
can be
going
a
like,
little
geez.
precious at times.
Oh,
Jim Nance can be a little precious.
I love
100%.
that. I love that descriptor of Jim Nance. Precious.
Well, especially when he's
perfect.
doing the Masters.
Yeah.
Come on.
The white gloves are on.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to do that.
I understand.
The Masters,
but it's-
Augusta's not wants him doing that. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't have much. I don't. Well, does he? Is he? Because he's out of NCAA. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I thought he
he do
announced the
anything else?
Masters or something. Still.
Didn't he like just call his last football game or something like that too?
Well, I think college basketball.
Oh, okay,
No?
that's what it was. Maybe.
I think he's
Where they're
done
like,
doing it in March
see you later.
Madness. That's his. He was. I think
That
this
was
past year was his farewell to
Gotcha.
that one. But I think he wants to do 50 Masters.
50.
I think he wants to go through 50 of them.
So how many more does he have to do? That's
'Cause
he,
Late 80s, early 90s,
Jim Nance.
somewhere around there.
no.
Oh, well, he's saying how old he'd be if he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
He'd like to call Masters 51 times. As bizarre as that sounds, the headline.
He's like the opposite of Al Michaels, who's just raw,
Yes.
but has never eaten a veggie to his knowledge in his life.
his 51st Masters would be the 100th playing of the Masters. So he wants to get to
that's why he
100.
wants
Gotcha.
to get there.
14 to go.
He only has 14 left.
Now, this was
How old
in
is Jim
November
Nance?
2022. So that puts it down to 13 to go.
He's got to be in his 60s, right?
Gotta be.
Has to be.
Gotta be in his 60.
Jim Nance
I'm going to go
is
67.
64.
He could do it.
13 years, 77 years old. He could do that easily.
Yeah.
Vin Scully went till he was 116.
Especially the way he's doing it.
Just really drawn out.
He's not putting a lot of effort into it.
No, there's no
slow, low talk.
But you enjoyed the live.
That.
I hated the scoreboard too on the side.
I don't like the scoreboard.
It was ugly. If it's not visually good,
this is what I'm saying. Is that
so I couldn't watch the golf fully.
Viewers, like from a product, it was not like the viewing product was not good, but the golf was fantastic, and I kind of like the team concept to it.
I like the idea of certain team concepts. Like I do when the Ryder Cup comes around, it is a lot of fun.
Sure.
There's a couple tournaments a year where you're like paired with someone or match play. I do like when they different things every so often.
Yeah.
Maybe I just didn't watch Live close enough because I hated the broadcast so much that I just couldn't focus on the golf. Maybe I'll have to give them a little more try this year.
Yeah, and it got hard to watch.
But last year,
they made it very difficult for you to watch.
In what way?
It was easier in their first season. You could just go on their app and you could watch it.
Yeah.
And then this year,
What's on Game?
Yeah, I've watched it on Game a bunch.
Yeah, and I would like PVR it off of CW.
Yours didn't get blacked out? My CW always got blacked out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I could never watch it on the CW. I had to go to the Game version of it.
No, CW. But if you wanted to watch it on the app live, you had to pay. I wasn't going to pay to watch Live. There's a lot of bad things I pay to watch, but I'm not going to pay to watch Live.
Well, I don't even want to pay
now.
to watch PJ whatever it is. With the TSN Plus, I don't want to pay for TSN Plus. I already pay for TSN. I already pay for Sportsnet. I don't need the Plus.
What? So what more can you get on the TSN?
Thursday, Friday.
Well, you can get that on the
before
on
the Golf Channel. Before the Golf Channel airs. Like things like that, and there's those extra pairings, and they do a little bit more, and it's because it used to be PJ Live, I think what it was called.
How much more golf do you really need?
There's a lot of golf out there.
At the station, Thursday, Fridays.
I love
You
my
had a nice
Thursday,
setup.
Fridays
You had a
on.
nice setup too. But I'd have my 3 computers.
Yes.
There was always one dedicated to video.
Yeah.
I would easily throw up on that one.
Whatever was
the
on.
golf on Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday. Here, I could easily throw it up in my office. Some golf on Thursday, Fridays.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the golf.
I
and
love
stuff.
a good Thursday, Friday.
It's just in the backgrounds where you're not fully focused on it. It works nice.
Yeah.
And get you set for the weekend.
And I know it's
This
perfect.
is true.
It's perfect.
I do.
Yeah. You
There's a question for golf related actually with weather that somebody did.
Hey, are we going to
into.
golf this coming season? He's been talking about it for a while.
Yeah. Sure.
I'd like that very much.
Who's been talking about it?
You.
Yeah, I
So we'll
wanna-
go with
can I golf?
Classen. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's
I
do
go
it.
with Classen.
You go with Classen. Oh, see, he's exclusive like
That's
that.
very nice.
No, we could golf.
Yeah, let's golf.
I'm always. My problem with most people is that most people have a regular job.
Not me.
Whereas, fair enough.
Yeah.
But you are here from 9 till 11, which and
Most of the
I
time.
generally.
This is
golf
when he
in the
golfs.
mornings.
Oh, I can skip one of those for you.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, don't
We'll
tell
take this on
one.
the
Just show
road.
up late.
You want to know
just
something?
show up late.
We'll
Yeah.
go pro this.
Oh,
Put
there you
Mike
go.
us up, and the Hangout will just be us on the course for 18.
That'd
We
be
did.
great.
We did that from Victoria one year when the first day that they opened up. We went and I played 9 while I did weather. It was fantastic.
That would have been
It
awesome.
was the best.
Yeah.
Play 9 holes.
Yo.
I've been trying to get every year I pitch. Why can't we sell this? That on like Thursday, I'm just at some golf course golfing while doing the weather.
We had in the bag, which we did one of, and the day that we got shut down, we were supposed to go do another of, where I would go to a course.
Yes.
And we'd just like play a hole, and then we would talk to the GM or the owner. You'd be perfect for that.
You guys also have the drone.
I know.
You could fly it above
Over
the course
like,
to show how
nobody
nice
needs
it
to
is.
see me golfing, but I wouldn't be opposed to actually golfing
shirt
in
and
between
sock.
my weather hits, and then I would just stop on the tee box or on the green.
They could film
do
how
weather
beautiful the
and-
course is, and
Yeah, no,
but that drone would give you the overhead shot. No one's going to be able to provide that.
beautiful.
That's a great thing. Idea.
I know.
Get on it, Sads.
I'm all over those good ideas.
W1 does Josh ever lie about the weather so he can get the good tee times?
Brilliant.
That only happens on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And also, as he just pointed out, he goes earlier. He doesn't.
Yes.
You don't struggle for finding a tee time during the day, do you?
No, and
There's the one place that you could just walk on. That she's been very good to you.
I'm
Twin Willows.
horrible because yes, I'm
She's been
terrible
very
for like
kind.
booking tea times. I'm that guy that just I'll I'll be in my car and I'll call one of three and be like, hey, can you sneak a single on walking in 5 minutes? And yeah, they're usually Twin Willows, fantastic.
I heard they're up for sale.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
My dad plays Monday nights men's league there.
Okay, yeah.
I golfed there for the first time this
There's
past
some really
year.
good golfers at that Monday night men's league.
Yeah.
I was checking out the scores because my wife was like, you should go join a men's league. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm on air at that time. And then I was looking at the scores. I'm like, second of all, they don't want me in that men's league.
Well, my dad's not very good. If that makes you feel any better, you
Are
definitely
you a good golfer?
Some days I'm okay. Some days not so
That's
great.
like golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to play.
Iwanyk's a good golfer. He
Did he tell you that?
He thinks that he's not, and he will yell on the course like he is not.
I've seen him spray it.
He's a good golfer.
Yeah,
He can
that's
make
too
some
kind.
good shots.
No golf for me this year.
You're still dealing with injuries, hey?
Torn labrum. So surgery. Now waiting
still,
for the
eh?
date. So I'll be done for next year likely.
That's terrible.
Well, it looks like
It's-
you need a
But-
new golf ball. All right, let's go.
Tommy.
But next
Perfect.
year, the year after, then I'm back. Now,
Okay,
now
yeah.
I'm going to be recovered. Now I could get back to fully golfing and not having to worry about shoulder issues, which is just wonderful.
Listen, you are much younger than Aaron Rodgers. If he can potentially come back from a torn ACL,
See, I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing this back
No.
at all.
no.
I'm going to take my sweet time with it because I don't want to have to deal with an issue ever again with it.
Over and over and over again.
So I'm going to make sure I
point.
Fair
take
enough.
care of it so I can get back because I've already wasted a couple summers.
Sure.
So I'll waste one more and then get back to going. So I could drive around with you guys. Again, we'll do it on the Hangout.
'Kay.
I'll film it.
I like
like
this
it.
idea.
and we
like
could do it on a course. Maybe we could sell it once a week.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll get you free golf
Yeah.
and
Hey,
we'll go do that.
free golf are my two favorite words.
Yeah.
Golf is one of my favorite words just in general. So
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
Okay, we're doing it.
you want to say something?
No, we're doing what?
The free
we're
golf.
golfing, yes.
Oh, yeah. Did you have something you wanted
You
to
got a
read there?
question? Or?
It's for Josh, obviously. Josh, should the backyard rink flood commence, or should it have already commenced? What's the play here? No name on that.
I'm
text.
not Dusty's probably better at this.
Is Dusty here?
Can you come talk ODRs or backyard rinks?
That's a yes. Oh, here he comes.
We just had a quick question.
What's the? I'm not a backyard rink guy, but I know the temperatures. What's the perfect temperature for
Jeez, you think you would
flooding?
know that, eh?
You would think so, but I built a backyard rink once and it was a disaster. I had holes in it everywhere.
Somebody asked, like, is now a time to flood?
No, what's is it? Like I laid in my liner last night. I didn't flood last night. I like to flood at the beginning of it. What are you laughing at?
Some of these texts.
Oh, anyway, I like to flood at the beginning, like when it's like minus 11 or colder.
Okay,
But I'm pretty desperate right now. I think what's the temperature tonight? -8.
yeah,
I'm flooding tonight,
Yeah, okay.
but not heavy.
No, because
probably
it's
just- I'll
gonna
probably
like
just
every
drop,
day
like-
this week is gonna get above
Yeah.
zero.
Now, with
during
that
the
being
day.
said, I don't think that melts anything, right? It's
No,
like,
sun's pretty low on the horizon now, so
I'll probably flood pretty consistently now. So I was just late into it. It sucked. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who I saw on the weekend, saw his rink. He said he had the water running for 23 straight hours.
oh
And put like this much down in one chunk. And then it was like a swimming pool
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But now it's all frozen and it's good. So, yeah.
Okay, so the consensus is start flooding
you.
now, but
Thank you.
potentially you've thank you. Potentially you've missed your window. But I don't think you've ever missed your window though.
No,
You're fine.
Yeah,
you can start
exactly.
flooding now.
We get one cold snap and it's all good.
Yeah.
Kirk was saying my rink is flooded and mint. I did it last week.
Damn.
Oh, there
So
you
we're in
go.
that time range where I guess you could.
The
can start
days are
flooding and
so
stuff.
short now that like
Like at 2:30 yesterday, I'm looking outside. I'm like, oh, it feels like it's 6 o'clock.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't worry.
We're at that
in,
point.
In a couple of weeks, the days will
Goes
start
back.
to get a little bit
That's
longer.
the best
again,
part. We're
and
almost
it's all
there.
good.
That's true.
We're almost
point.
at the start of winter.
Almost at the
Yes.
Almost.
meteorological winter started December 1st, but yes.
What do you mean?
Official start. So meteorological seasons start at the beginning of months because it makes more sense and it makes it easier to calculate when you're doing like historical stats of winter. So December, January, February is meteorological winter, not December 21st.
Why don't we start doing that just as society? Because that does make a lot more sense.
Makes
As
way more
opposed,
sense.
as opposed to trying to figure out
the
December
reason we don't do it
2021.
is because astronomically it's right.
Well, let's just all agree to change.
Okay.
We've changed daylight savings before. Let's do this now. Let's all just agree that
Oh, this daylight
the
saving
seasons
thing.
begin at the start of a month.
yeah. You don't like daylight saving time?
I don't know why we're trying to mess with it. I'm just so used to it. I'm like, isn't it fine the way it is?
Yeah, it
seems
keep
to
it,
work.
Don't keep it, lose it. I don't really
Yeah,
care
I
one way or
don't
the other. It's fine.
It's like we're
It's never really bothered me.
I don't want to lose it because if we lose it, it's going to be the time we're at now, I think. Spring forward. Yeah. So we lose the hour of night in the summer. Or like daylight in the summer. Because we can't do that one because the studies have shown that when you're later in the day or whatever, when you if you spring forward and you stay there,
yeah.
that causes big issues.
Yeah, there's one
There's
of
been
them
a lot
that-
of
yeah,
studies.
there's one of
Russia
them that
tried
you
it. There was a
should-
place in Russia, and they had to go back right away after like a couple years because it's just not right.
Right.
If you do stick with one of them, it's like the time we're in now. Once you fall back, this time is what you're supposed to do with it.
Interesting.
And I would rather have the extra
Yeah.
hour at night
Yeah.
in the summer. So
No, I'm with you.
I'm
like I
saying
say, I
I'll
don't
just
really care one way
I
or the
also
other.
don't have kids, and that's I know
See,
the
it
issue.
never really bothered my
No?
kids. I know some people's kids it does, sure, but whatever. You put them to bed earlier, you put them to bed an hour later.
When you fall back, it's like one of the best days.
It is a great feeling.
When you get sleep that extra hour.
Yes.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Sure.
Spring forward sucks. So it's the balancing act.
It's
I
an
hate it.
hour.
Yeah, you lose an hour.
But
It's an hour. You're
yeah.
not losing 6 hours.
And it's
Yeah,
less
but it's like it's
painful.
worse when because often it could be it's a Saturday night if you're going out drinking or something, and then
Right. Oh, yes.
you're already going to bed late,
Right.
and then
I
you
forgot
lose the
about this.
hour.
See, it's been so long since I was doing those things. Now I'm just like, I'll just go to bed at 9 instead of 10. Oh, fine, whatever. No big deal.
Tube sucks. Leave it as is. That's what
That's Tube Suck says?
Yeah, he says that.
Well.
So we'll listen to him.
Yep.
Shanzi is flooding now.
Good.
Okay. And he actually included a photo. Ooh, that's a very nice setup. Look at that.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah. He's got the plastic down and everything.
Yeah. See, my problem is I was too lazy. I didn't.
Well done,
I
Shanzi.
just put water down. That was always my problem.
You would just spray water and
Yeah,
that was
sure.
it.
I just packed down the snow.
So you didn't put a lining or anything.
No line.
You focused.
My dad never put a liner down. There were
So?
no liners back in the day.
Yeah, but there's
You
improvements.
get out there with your Sorels, you go back,
Pack it.
pack.
Spray
and you
it.
throw some water on, and you pack. You get the sheet of plywood and you drag it across,
Yep.
smooth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you used to do it.
Back in
Yeah.
the day.
Cheating.
But now
with
it's
liners.
like full thing.
Now they sell like
I know.
these
Full lines.
elaborate
I know.
kits and everything. And
Best backyard rink is Ryan Meyer's dad.
Really?
Curling rink.
Oh, and he pebbles it?
he must.
He does something with it. But it's like he changes it every year. But then last year he also built like a shack with like a heater in it and stuff to warm up. But it's like a lengthwise of his backyard.
Yeah.
So you get last year he moved it back the different way. But like he has little rocks and you throw
Yeah.
actual rocks and they're sweeping and it's a lot.
Les is a character.
Les is a
guy.
character.
You've met him?
I don't
Have
know
you met
if I
Ryan Meyer's
have.
dad?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But it's like the backyard curling rink. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
You know what he needs?
He brings out like
he
a
needs
torch
a band to
clean
play
it.
out at the curling rink.
How about a rap duo?
I was thinking Whale and the Wolf.
Oh, well.
Now they're too busy playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Ryan and Lucas.
Good for
and
them.
Then all of them, they're playing, so they
They're
can't.
killing it.
House band of
Kill it.
EST now too.
Yeah,
So
they
when
are.
You're
Yes.
listening in the audio
Yeah,
stream.
you sound good.
EST
Sound good.
Hangout, Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Josh Classen from CTV with you here, presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar. Have you been watching? What? I was going to say, have you been watching the in-season tournament?
I love the in-season tournament.
Do you?
I'm all in. I
Really?
didn't think I would be. I'm all in.
What hooked you?
The fact that I'm now watching basketball before Christmas Day,
Gotcha.
because
Christmas
usually
Day is
that's
amazing.
Christmas Day is the best.
Yeah.
But usually I would not watch basketball until Christmas Day. But now I'm like, well, I have a reason to watch. And my son plays basketball.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
he's all yet another thing that we pay to watch is the NBA.
TV.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Solidarity. There's Surveyor Brett. There he is.
Hey, Surveyor Brett.
There he is. He's picking up his AM nasty stuff.
Did none of you
Nice.
want to ever move on? Like, are you guys all stuck in the past? Did none of you ever want to move on with your lives and focus on the Quinn Phillips era? You guys are all stuck on my era.
We're welcoming in the Quinn Phillips.
Clearly
era. I
not.
don't know
You're
what
still
the problem
focused
is.
on
You're
me.
the only one getting bent out of shape.
I'm not
about
bent.
this.
I'm just saying that you guys keep
They'll
focusing
move
on me.
once
Yeah.
the next draft happens. When is the do we have?
Why are you looking at me and asking
Do
me?
we have a date for the next draft?
We don't. we need to organize this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll have to consult with our new commissioner when she's available. I think she's coming in this week. I
She's
believe.
potentially coming in on Thursday. It is the Big Sky event down at Commonwealth. So she's booked
Big
in
Air.
for Thursday. Big Air.
Big Sky is
yeah,
not a
sorry.
band.
I think that's also a college football conference.
Big Sky conference.
It's,
yeah.
the
They got
low level.
ripped off too.
Oh, do you want to
my
get into
God.
that? Can we get into that in a bit? Are you at all following that stuff?
No,
We'll
not
wait
as
till
close
if-
as I
if
should,
fair,
but I did
okay.
watch all the games.
Did you watch any Mountain West action?
No.
I did.
No.
UNLV versus Boise.
Yeah. What was that, Friday?
Yeah.
Were
Was
we
he
not
still
watch-
playing on the blue field?
Oh,
I
of
think
course.
they are.
Of course. Washington, Oregon was awesome.
Was it good?
Alabama, Georgia was fun. The rest were but
Alabama,
craziness
Georgia
and
was
everything. It was a good football game.
Yeah.
I love. This is bowl season. This is my favorite part
You
of Christmas
can't
season.
not have Georgia in though.
You're
I
going. You can't
understand
have
they lost.
Georgia in.
Yeah, no. Yes.
I don't know how
It's
you
a
can't
mess.
have
It
an
is a mess. I will give you
undefeated,
that. I
an
will give you that.
undefeated Power 5 school.
I know. I agree. I agree.
That's
with their
the one that I
argument, too.
go.
Yes,
I
sure.
am stunned by that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I did not think we'd see the day where
I
they
know.
told
I
kids.
know.
If you go play every game on the schedule,
Yes.
you go schedule a couple non-conference games on the road, like at LSU, and you win every single one of them, you're still not going to make the playoffs.
No, I know.
It's just, and I think it's all because Georgia lost to Bama.
For sure it is.
Because if Bama loses to Georgia, Georgia's in the playoffs, Michigan's in the playoffs, Washington's in the playoffs. Florida State goes in the playoffs over Texas. Because people say Texas's win over Alabama gets lessened a little bit, but also I think they would have been like, yeah, okay, undefeated teams all should go in. But then once they needed to get Bama in there because they can't have an SEC team out, they got to play to the SEC. They couldn't have Bama in over Texas because Texas beat Bama. So Florida State got the punishment.
I've heard all these arguments. I agree. It's a complete mess.
Do you know where they're
I don't know how you
well,
don't have Georgia in there.
and then there's also because it's supposed to be the best 4 teams in the country. You can't tell me Georgia's not one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Agreed.
So
That's what I'm saying.
They're lucky that this
I don't know. I didn't see Florida State play at all this year. I saw
they
them
got
play
some
this
injuries
week.
late.
Right. That's what I heard. And so I saw them play this weekend, and I was like, they don't look that good. So, yeah.
Well, Louisville's a pretty good team, though. They were ranked 14, like
14.
at one point they were top 10. I don't know. It's one of those college football playoffs lucky that they go to 12 teams next year because they'll never have this conversation again.
Right.
If you go undefeated, they're going to go in.
Remember when they didn't have 4 teams?
Yeah.
When it was BCS?
Yeah.
BCS, yes.
It was terrible.
It was.
People argued against the playoffs.
Yep.
And now it's completely flipped. Now 4 isn't enough. Now we got to go to 12.
When I argued for the last few years, I felt 4 was actually a perfect number because I was always okay with kind of one team missing.
Right.
Okay, well,
now
you got to do a little bit more.
That Florida State missed, and so
Well, this year I can say there's 2 teams that deserve to be there.
yeah, Georgia and Florida State.
And so I'm like, okay, maybe this year 12. I'm very worried about 12 because I feel like there'll probably be about 4 teams that shouldn't be there.
Colorado.
The talk of Deion Sanders becoming a head coach in the NFL has quieted down quite a bit, hasn't it?
A little bit.
It's
I love Prime though.
hey, he's fun.
He
He's
is
great
fun.
to see. He took the transfer portal. He made it great. He used it everyone looks at it as a way for the players to transfer to other schools. He used his way to try to bring new players in quickly. So I'll see what he could do this year in the transfer portal. He's a character, obviously. We all know that from his playing days. But don't go in.
Greatest 2-sport athlete ever.
Has to be. In terms of success?
Yeah, because he had longevity, right?
Yeah, Bo didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Bo should have been.
I mean, Michael Jordan. I wish he would have given baseball more of a try. I'm kidding.
It's that third year. They always say it's that third year
That
you
third
break
year,
through, and he
he
just
was
never.
ready
He
to-
didn't want to go do it.
Turn the corner, yeah.
But no, I call it I'll take bowl season. I know this is sacrilege, and I don't care. Bowl season over World Juniors for me any day.
Whoa.
Hey,
Any day.
I'm actually not against that concept because World Juniors a tradition.
Yes.
Unlike any other, much
yeah,
like
thank you, Jim Nantz.
NBA on Christmas Day. But us and probably Finns turn it into a big thing. Maybe the Swedes a little bit, but it really doesn't have much of an impact on I think it's worth like 1% of like the overall rankings in terms of world rankings and hockey powers. And
So nobody cares about it except us, is what you're
and
saying.
maybe the Finns.
Right.
Yeah, so like it's
why we get it every
relevant.
2
Like
years.
The U.S. doesn't care about it?
not really.
Okay.
Not really. I think it's picking up in popularity in the US, but it's not really a big thing. People in the US are like, "What is this? These are not pros?" No. Oh, why do I care? Oh, they're going to be pros. Don't these guys play all season? Oh, they do. This is in the middle. Oh, okay, this is kind of weird. That's kind of like the thought process.
Says a country that just watches college football who aren't pros, but they treat it like pros.
Yeah. But
you know?
but then the college football players don't have a international tournament mid-season.
Oh, I see.
That like is dominated by one country essentially and turned into a big production by one media company, our old business daddy. Anyway, World Juniors is entertaining. It's really cool to go to and check out, cover as well. It was weird 2 summers ago here when there was nobody here. That was bizarre, but good to see it come back last winter. So yes, I understand your rationale on that, and that's valid. World Juniors is kind of like, it's our baby and we don't let anybody else have it kind of thing.
It's what you're interested in too,
Yeah.
right? Like, whatever.
Both say like it's probably wild. About 3 weeks.
I couldn't convince my kids to sit around and watch any hockey game.
See, I'm hearing that more and more.
No,
I think
Oh,
with
just
certain
in
kids.
general?
Just in general.
Oh, wow.
There's a few kids I know.
okay.
All 3 of my sons, they played hockey we forced them for a couple of years, and then eventually we were like, why are we forcing them to do this? So, yeah.
Damn.
And then they became swimmers, and
Yeah.
the youngest is a basketball player now, and he's like a foot taller than me, so that works out well for him.
Still swimming the other one?
No. Because
it was for a while.
Although the oldest is back to coaching.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Just got a job coaching again. So
How
he
old
was
are your
coaching
kids
before.
now?
The oldest will be 20 in February. Wow. Middle one is 17, and the youngest turns 16 in 2 weeks. So
nice.
they're old.
They're
old.
But like guys like you and I, we just stay the same
don't
age. Yeah.
No, that's
No,
the
you
thing
guys
is,
don't age.
I don't feel old
Me neither.
until I think about the fact that I have a 20-year-old. Like I was telling Iwanyk, two of them are talking about moving to Vancouver to go to university in the fall.
Wow.
I'm like, how is this possible that I'm almost an empty nester? They'll come back though.
They always do.
Sadly.
Do they? I think nowadays a lot of people stay out because you never want to go back home.
No, I didn't want to. But I had to
You
when I
stay home for as
moved
long as you
back to
can, but
Illinois.
once you leave,
Yeah.
you don't want to go
No.
back home because once you do, it's like you want that freedom, and you're gonna be gone right away quickly again too.
My kids have it pretty good though.
Nice.
So yeah, they
have a good setup.
Yeah, I think they'll leave and then they'll be like, "Oh, this is what real life is like. This sucks."
True.
But yeah, they'll figure it out eventually. Eventually, they'll leave, and that's fine. And I'll be able to.
So this is where you do go to the smaller place, but
This is where
there's no room.
We downsize.
You downsize. There's no room. You go,
It's-
sorry.
Yeah,
Smart.
it's- I'm
There's a couch for a couple
I'm in
days, but that's
one-bedroom
about it.
condo with your mom, and there's a hide a bed in the living room. You can stay for a night or two, but
Hey, it's funny you bring this up because, okay, so my youngest brother's 31. I have a middle brother, lived in Van, just moved to Calgary.
Yeah.
I've been out of the house for almost, 18 years now or something like that. And my parents just moved to St. Albert. They downsized, finally.
yeah.
And my mom goes, well, there's room for all of you still. And we're just like, one of us doesn't even live in the city. I have my own home. My other brother has his own home 5 minutes away
There's
from
still
them.
the hope that all of you will come home for Christmas and stay there.
That's what I'm gleaning from you. You're like, they always come back. I'm like, Josh, you sound like you're welcome to them coming back.
Oh God, no.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm just realistic.
You don't say no.
Thinking that they will
No, they're
probably
back.
they will probably come back once or twice. So that's which is fine. It is what it is.
But like, my mom would be like, well, everybody can stay over. And I was like, Well, one of us lives right down. You basically bought a new home to babysit the youngest child.
Let's not get to a point where you have to apologize again, Tommy.
I don't have to. And then my brother Mike moved closer to the city from Vancouver to Calgary, like I said. And then me, I'm good. I'm good. Visiting's good. See you in a couple weeks.
Yeah. That's why you're not your mom's favorite.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Touche. You
don't say that. Are you your kids? Do
I have favorites?
Are you? No, are you?
Oh.
No, you because you never say that. You never say
I
it publicly.
do, but it changes every day. It's a different one every day.
Were you the favorite of your parents?
I think my brother and sister would say I'm my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
And then my brother is probably my dad's favorite. And then my sister's just kind of hung out to dry.
Really?
Yeah.
boy.
I don't think anybody would dispute that. That's
Are you younger?
No, I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Yeah. Mama's boy. So that is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Family of educators.
I know. Yes, I know.
And then you got the rapper meteorologist on the other side.
But he's a scientist,
Absolutely.
artist, and man of the people.
Man of the people.
Sorry, I was just looking at your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
They've got the
Stan Smiths. The limited edition UCLA colors.
Did you ever get into college basketball?
No.
No.
No. Try
Did you get into the madness?
There's too much sports on that I have to limit.
Okay, so
the
you're
amount of
golf
sport
because you're big
intake
golf.
that I can take.
Jets, Knicks, NFL in general. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
NBA in general.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
What do you mean after? Because the
Like
Knicks
after Christmas.
Because the Knicks are always
after
out?
Christmas.
Is that what you're
No,
saying?
because you say you don't
they're
start till
always
Christmas.
terrible.
You
know,
don't.
none of my favorite teams have ever in my lifetime won a championship.
No.
None of them.
So we're talking Jets, Knicks.
And I grew up a Flyers fan because of Pelly Lindbergh.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, none of them have won a championship.
They've come
in
close.
my lifetime. They have a couple have come
Yeah.
close. Yeah. No, but there's no banners for coming close.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's terrible. I am cursed. And my kids ask me all the time. They're like, "Why do you still cheer for these teams?"
That's because it feels sweet when they win.
Yeah,
if they win.
And you can't change your team.
No, you
Like,
can't change it.
that's
Or you could
the
have
thing about
90 teams
fandom
like
is you
him.
can't-
I'm not 90. Like you're making it sound like I cheer for
he's
every
a front
team.
runner.
He is a
No,
front runner.
Yeah, I know. You're like
I cheer
Beckett. You're like my youngest. He loves
I
Golden
have
State.
cheered for.
He's
how
so he
convenient.
was so angry that Golden State they were like terrible at the beginning of this season, and he was so mad. I'm like, you are not allowed to be angry about your team that has won how many championships in the last 7 years?
There's a standard of
Like
excellence.
you can't. I understand.
that you need to live to.
Like, but
No,
you can't.
of course you can.
Your team can't be good every year.
They sure should be.
No.
I cheer for
not-
one team in
Not
every
what I have learned.
sport.
That's not what I have learned in my years of fandom.
I cheer for one sports team in every sport except college football.
Yeah.
I have two.
Look at you backtracking.
No, it's not backtracking.
You're doing it because Josh is here.
I have cheered for every team that I cheer for since the late 90s or the early 2000s was 8, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
I've cheered for every team for over 20 years. I was a front runner maybe as a kid. Not anymore.
Tell me,
All right,
Josh,
all right.
does that
It's
not
okay.
sound like a script, what he just said?
It's the facts.
It feels
Memorize
like
it.
something that's been said before.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Because
It's
it's the
fine.
facts. Well, you make it sound like I cheer for every team in the NBA, so I'm an NBA champion every single year.
You rehearse that before you go to bed every night. like
I
you
have
just said.
seen my Lakers win 6 NBA titles.
Yeah,
I
all
have
that-
seen
yeah.
the Ravens win.
And why did
2
you become
Super
a
Bowls.
Lakers fan though?
Kobe, Shaq, and Phil.
Because they were good.
Yeah,
Boom.
and it was fun to watch.
Ask him about the Yankees.
It was fun to
You
watch.
know
It
why
was
I
all-
became a
that's
Knicks
what-
fan and a Jets fan? When I was 12, I decided to pick a favorite team in every
Yes.
sport, and
Thank you.
I was like, "Who's the worst team?" Because someday they're going to be good, and I need to come up with them. And
So you
they're
should have
still
picked when
not
you were
good.
younger.
Still not good.
You should have
Still
picked
terrible.
when you were a little younger,
I know.
like I did. 8, 9, 10, baby.
Yeah.
So that's you stick with the top teams. Hey, the Lakers were had a lot of bad years in there.
You know what? They did have.
We've
lot of
had some
You're
bad
right.
years.
You're right. And part of me, as a fan of bad teams,
Yep.
doesn't really want them to get good.
No, you do.
No, I do.
I like
You
this.
I do. But like, you remember This is sad that the best years for the Jets were like the Sanchez years.
2 AFC Championship appearances.
I know,
baby.
hey,
Took down the Patriots in one of those.
Back
like that's
Rex
incredible.
And Sanchez.
Like butt fumble, all of that is there, but 2 AFC Championship appearances.
And none of that's worse than what we've seen the last 2 years.
They built a good defense.
Yeah, it was great.
And they built an offense around a quarterback that didn't have to do too much.
But when they were good, all of a sudden, all the fake Jets fans start coming out of the woodwork, and I don't like that. All the bandwagon jumpers start coming on board.
But you get that for almost any team.
I agree.
The Seahawks in the 12s. There's a lot of people that be like, "Hey, new Seahawks fan or 90s
because I suffered through this for so long that
Yeah, but they don't.
I respect your plight.
Thank you.
I respect that very much.
But in the end, but you know that you're the true fan.
He is.
Yeah, I know.
That's
You're
the
right.
thing. The true Knicks fans and the true Jets fans.
I would love to see them win and become a dynasty. It would be incredible.
Well, let's not get to dynasty.
I know that people would then be like, "Oh, you only like them because they're really great."
Let's not jump all the way to
it. You only like them because they've won.
Don't jump to a dynasty.
They only like them because they got Aaron Rodgers.
Get to 1 win at least. And then go to dynasty. Well, don't jump all the way to learn to walk before you run there.
I'm just saying. That's.
So you picked the Knicks because they were legit the worst team?
Yeah, it was the first year that they had Patrick Ewing. And then the next year they were good. And then the year after that, they made the playoffs.
They've been trending in the right direction last, I would say, I'd have to go look at the stats. You correct me if I'm wrong. No. 3 of the last 5 years, they've had decent seasons, I would think.
Yeah, they make the playoffs.
They're better than what they used to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like bottom of the league every single year. James Dolan has another story of something stupid he's done. Isaiah Thomas has been brought back in for a different role this time.
They have not been the Detroit Pistons the last number of years. They've been better.
You got the Canadian RJ Barrett.
I love RJ. We got 6 man of the year, Manuel Quickly. If he's not 6 man of the year, come on.
Well, it's early.
I know it's early.
It's early.
Give him the
we haven't even got
give him the in-season 6 man of the year.
We haven't even. I wonder if there would be one. There should be, because you got to do an MVP for the in-season tournament. Who do you guys? You guys got Milwaukee.
I know. We'll probably lose
in Milwaukee tomorrow. You never know. My Lakers play tomorrow.
Pacers,
Phoenix.
Celtics.
Pacers, Celtics, Lakers, Phoenix, Sacramento, Pelicans.
I know.
It's going to be in that one.
And see, this is what's great about the in-season tournament is you got all these teams that, right?
I've been wanting the in-season tournament in North American sports for the last few years.
You talked me into this a long time ago about how great this was going to be. Are you happy with how it has turned out?
I'm happy it's happening. I still don't think it's the way I would run it. Okay. I don't like the accounting for regular season. I would separate the two.
Who was it? Was Mark Jackson? Someone the other day on NBA radio was saying, maybe it was Scal. He was talking about how they need to change it so that the winner of the in-season tournament automatically gets a 6th seed in the playoffs.
Like a guaranteed 6th seed?
Guaranteed 6th seed.
Like they don't have to play the rest of the season?
No, they can play the rest of the season.
Or do they have to still qualify for the playoffs?
Nope. You guaranteed 6th seed.
No. I wouldn't.
You have to make the in-season tournament more valuable. So you give them a guaranteed 6th seed.
It's the
trophy.
You
like that idea, Tommy?
I love it.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. I would make if you're going to do something like that, I'm going to go to hockey because I understand their CBA more.
Right.
You get an extra $1 million in the cap or something. I'd give cap space or something like that. But beyond that, I don't. To me, I want to separate the two. In-season tournament is its own thing. The season's its own thing. They shouldn't be combined. You're there to win a trophy. You're there to win a banner.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, imagine if the Knicks go win this championship. How happy is the city of New York going to be if they win this?
Pretty happy.
They will be.
Yeah, we'll be ecstatic.
They will celebrate it.
Yeah.
And it'll have nothing to do with the regular season. Nope. But the city of New York will be happy that the Knicks won a championship. Yes. There will be a banner going up. In-season tournament banner.
Inaugural NBA Cup.
29 other league teams are going to be like, oh, no one cares because it's the first one.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, city of New York is going to love it. And it will be a big deal. And now it's going to slowly start building and people are going to care a little bit about the in-season. Separate from regular season, though. I don't want that to count for the standings at all. I want them to be separate.
Okay.
And
I like the idea of giving them a 6th seed. Guaranteed 6th seed for winning. I'm pretty how hard is Braun going to have that on his resume?
Oh, he wants it. You know he
first
does.
ever NBA Cup.
He could sit there and say MJ doesn't have one, you know?
For sure.
Oh, snap.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know, I'd be like, oh,
He
MJ
wants
couldn't go
that
for it.
so
But
yeah.
bad. The very
the first, they probably don't care about the regular season right now, those boys.
Not as much as those
this.
in-season tournament
Yes.
games, which is why it's been great, right? It's given you some interest early in the season.
They need to fix the floors a little bit. I like different designs. I like that there's I know it's not a regular, like, this is the in-season. They just looked weird.
It looks like a Nintendo video game.
There was too much happening.
Yeah. They do need to be different, though.
Yes,
So
100%.
that visually,
It's a different
you
thing.
see it and you're
Yes.
like, oh,
That's a great
it's
idea.
It's a tournament
And
game.
for somebody like, why is the floor like this? Oh, it's the in-season tournament. What's that? Oh, you haven't heard?
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You know, so
No, that was a smart move to visually make them different.
the NHL will do this. By the end of this decade, we will have an NHL in-season tournament. Calling it.
Man,
Well, I called it a
that's
few
not
years ago, but
far-fetched.
that's going to
Yeah.
happen. They're going to see the success of the NBA. But this is also where I see, like, they will separate it one day from the regular season because you could sell that as its own TV package.
for sure.
Do you know how much money that could get you? Like, your national TV package doesn't get touched because you still have your national games, the X amount. The regional games will be affected a little bit. But now you could go to any of the outlets.
Well.
You could go if you're the NBA, who's not a partner right now. Let's say CBS.
Right.
Hey, you want to pay $1 billion to carry the in-season tournament?
And the regional games are in such a state of flux right now.
Absolutely.
those
That's where the money's going to come, and that's why it's
Yeah.
going to be separated. Because
Yeah,
it's not
I like
going to
it.
be for the regular season. That's
I like
just-
it. I was
that's the way I
skeptical.
look at
I
it.
was skeptical, but you were on board with this from the get-go. So I will give
Thank
you
you. Appreciate that.
kudos for that.
We'd have some great chats in the
Yeah.
outside of the station. I'd be leaving. He'd be going in.
Yes, I'm very
and we'd
aware of your
stop, and
bromance.
It was.
I'm very
Well, it's a
aware.
one-sided, I would say.
Well, I know.
No.
It was always good times.
You got
It was
any
always
other
good times.
weather questions or anything?
There were a few for you. Well, there was one that said there was a comment.
What time you got to get going to
at about-
Oilers skate?
I'll leave in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll make it back. In
I'll
time.
give you a little wrap before you leave. Then.
Oh, all right.
I'll make sure you're
Really?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's
this
a
guy
good
go.
teammate right there. This one comes in. It's about the conversation we were having about college football. Power 5 school, but it's the 5th best conference. LSU wasn't that good. FSU without their QB is like the Eskimos trading Ricky Ray for Steven Giles.
Whoa.
Don't care. Here's the thing I'll say on the argument on that, though, is if the season roles were reversed, Alabama lost their players at the end of the season and went undefeated, they'd still go in.
It's
The injury
SEC.
thing, it's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the excuse people are going to have of why FSU isn't there. But if it happened to any of the others, if Michigan lost J.J. McCarthy in the Big Ten championship game or in the game against Ohio State, and they still rattled off the championship, they're not getting pulled out. Like, I'm sorry. That's just an excuse so that they could give the SEC a spot in the playoffs. They couldn't handle not putting the SEC in there. That's what it comes down to. Because they're scared of the SEC because the SEC is the one conference. No, this is facts.
I know it is.
The
You
SEC,
just love how he winds up.
the SEC will go and create their own playoffs one day if they wanted to.
And sell it as a package.
Its own thing.
It's all about broadcast.
Yeah.
money.
But that's it. They'll go and create their own league, and the NCAA and college football playoffs don't want to piss off SEC because they don't want to go do it. They don't want that to happen.
Okay. Anthony texts in via the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. If people stop asking Josh about the weather, I'll put him in contact with my dad. He loves asking and talking about the weather and gas prices.
Perfect. I don't talk about gas prices.
No, just leave
Got
that.
one-
It is-
119.9.
It is what it is. You
Got it
have to
cheap.
put gas in. You have to put gas in.
Not if you have an electric car.
I know it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It is.
I know.
A lot of manufacturers by like 2035. That's all they'll be making.
No, I just mean for me, it's
Oh.
it's eventually coming. I'll have to.
This one's good.
Okay, yeah.
Spency 5 centsy with this one. Could you ask Josh, Spency 5 centsy,
Okay, yeah.
could you ask Josh what he thinks about the future of using quantum computers for predicting weather and if it could be used to predict an Oilers Cup win? Thanks. Spency 5 centsy.
I don't think it can be used to predict an Oilers Cup game. The problem with all weather forecasting is that if 2 + 2 always equaled 4, then it would be an easier equation. But
Right.
it usually equals 4, but sometimes it equals 5.
Right.
Like there's just so many variables. So with quantum computing, yes, you would be able to input more potential variables and get more outcomes. But someone still has to figure out which of those potential outcomes from the models looks most likely. So right now we deal with 5 or 6 different models that will all tell you something slightly different. And so our job is to know, this one works better in the winter, this one does snow better, this one does rain better, this does wind but not temperature better, this one works better in parts of the province and not here. And so that's why the apps that you have are just whatever one model spits out. It's just regurgitating that. And so we as human forecasters still have to take the best of those, piece them together. So yes, I'm sure AI and quantum computing will make forecasting easier and more accurate in the future, but it's never going to be perfect.
Right.
There's just too many variables at play. Right?
Quantum computers. Are they being used now for
AI?
AI is?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what, Chat GPT is going to start predicting our weather soon?
Well, you
Or
use
attempting to.
Chat GPT to write cards for people.
Sometimes. Damn right.
And
Did you know about this?
My kid used ChatGPT to write his application for school.
Did he get in?
You can't. It's teachers.
Well, he rewrote it.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, that's the
afterwards,
thing.
but
It gives you a nice base
a nice little
to
template.
figure out where to go with it.
and for job applications and everything.
Job applications suck. Applying for jobs
You
suck
know what?
these days.
It really does because everything's online.
Well,
Yeah.
it
It's
starts.
all Indeed or
And it starts with a
Workday
computer.
or-
A computer filters all the words
I
in your
feel
resume and
so
cover letter
bad
before
for
it
these
even, and then it
kids.
sorts that out before it even gets to a human.
Yeah.
Humans never read the majority of your stuff.
You can't
right.
walk in and make a good impression
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
They don't even want your resume.
So yeah, screw it. I'll give you my
good,
Chat
hire me.
GPT, and you have to throw in the keywords
Yeah.
of the job posting. Find a way to throw it into your cover letter and stuff, because the computer will recognize those keywords, and then it will go to the next level and stuff. And that's where you also should send most things. I've always learned you send stuff as PDFs because formatting, and you want to make sure that if somebody opens up, they don't have the right font. It still
Right.
sees it.
Yeah.
But because it's a computer, you actually should be sending with a Word document because it could read this. So this is what I've learned this
Why
summer.
do you know so much about applying for jobs?
Because I lost the job this year, Josh.
Interesting. We've uncovered a lot today, Josh.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you.
Because actually, so just the curtains with Bell. When Bell let us go, there was you could apply. They gave you an option of getting part of this career finding resource,
Right.
Where this company that is not associated with Bell helps
Right.
you try to find a job and helps you do things. And I talked to this one person about resumes and stuff like that because I hadn't done a resume since
I can't even remember the last
Nate
time I did a resume.
when I went
Yeah.
to school. So it was we had the chat, and from Nate to now, how much what I learned at Nate to what I was now, completely
totally
different.
different.
So no, I learned it. I was there was a reason
So it's
this
all
year.
search optimization and
100%.
everything.
And then actually, what I also learned was that you actually have to have two kind of. There's one for the computer, and then there's one that you give to the human after or something.
Right.
That's better. And you should rewrite certain things, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So for your son using Chat GPT for that stuff, I would say, yeah, absolutely use that. If they're going to use computers, you should be able to use computers.
Wow. Hey, I didn't know about that.
Also,
So-
it sounded way better than what he had written the first time just off his brain. I was like, that's really professional, Oak. Wow. Well done. He's like, ChatGPT. It makes sense now. Yes.
Daddy still loves you.
I get that.
VR Montenegro, take the job application keywords, throw them at the end of your resume, change the font color to white.
Oh, wow.
That is devious.
Doesn't see it, but it's all there.
That is
So-
devious.
Yeah. See, you have to learn these things if you're looking for jobs because it's not the same like it was, as you said, Josh. You don't just walk in, hand in your resume, or be like, hey, can I shake the hand of the manager? And
Yeah.
you got to come up with a different way to give your resume, make it stand out. No, you need keywords so the computer will find it. What are you laughing at?
Jasmine. Jasmine texted in. Maddie, thanks so much for encouraging me to take the risk and not drop anyone this week, leaving my QB and D empty. I won the week. Also, Josh, sick hoodie. Go Knicks in the play-in tourney tomorrow. Tom, Knicks are an NBA team. Well played, Jasmine.
Wait, Jasmine, you had nobody at quarterback and nobody at defense?
Here's what,
That's
so
not
she
what-
had
yeah.
the Ravens on bye, and she had someone else on bye quarterback-wise.
Right.
And she was already in the playoffs. And she had, this was, I think, the last week of the season, and she needs to make moves. I was like, why are you making a move? She liked her whole team. She had no one she wanted to draw.
That makes sense.
So I was like, just keep your team. This
I'm
week
just
doesn't
impressed that
matter.
You can still win with.
Well, that also speaks to probably the opponent that you're playing against a little bit.
There's a guy in our league who has not altered his lineup at all since day one. The draft went in week one, threw up a bunch of players.
Did he draft it? Or did he?
It was auto drafted.
So he didn't even draft it.
auto drafted.
Damn.
He has not touched a thing. I go and look, and I'm like, dude, you have really good players on your bench and like guys on buys in your starting lineup. He's like, I don't know how to get on the app and whatever.
Is this a money league at all or just for fun?
There's money, but not a lot of money.
So he's paying to not do anything.
Yeah, I think it's a $25 buy-in, so it's not huge. But
Still.
the shocking thing though, he has 4 wins. 4. There's another guy in our league who has been like working the waiver wire. He has 2. This idiot that auto drafted and has not touched his lineup still has 4 wins. And I have to play him next week, and I'm
luck.
really nervous that
That's got to be a terrible feeling.
That has to be.
Working so hard on finding your players,
Yeah.
adjusting your lineups, paying
Yeah,
attention to the
yeah.
injury
And
report,
this
all
idiot-
that. And this guy who doesn't do anything, he's
lost.
beaten me.
He lost to that guy, and he had like guys on buys. Made no sense.
But yeah, no, I
Dave
just.
Mitchell, by the way.
Oh, it's Dave
Mitchie.
What?
Mitchie-
He's the
Mitchie-
one that's not changing
Mitchie
it.
is not changing it. He doesn't know how to get on his phone.
So then why is he doing it?
He's always in every year.
Well, then he's supposed
He
to
likes-
be.
he likes
He's
to
supposed to be the
participate.
easy money, but he's not participating.
No, I know.
He hasn't done anything.
Nope.
Like at least if
Nothing.
you're at the draft,
Nothing. He has great players too.
why didn't you trade with him? Oh, I guess he.
I've
you couldn't get-
offered him trades, but he doesn't know how to get on his phone to accept trades.
But what you do is you do it for him.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
You tell
the
him-
rest of the league.
That's
would,
colluding,
The
man.
rest. Of,
No, you go to him
the
and you make the
commissioner
trade.
of that league would come down.
Yeah.
hard.
You go to him and say, "This is the trade." You get him to agree, and then you say, "Here, let me do that."
No. We've all.
How's your team?
We've all given up on Mitchie. My team's good. I'll
Yeah.
make the playoffs. I'll make the playoffs.
So when's playoffs?
We have 2 more weeks.
Okay.
And then playoffs. So
You guys go a little long. You feel like.
yeah,
don't
I
know.
guess so. I don't know. I don't know. Was it week 13 this week?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we go 15 weeks.
So yeah, I think
So-
usually it's this week or next week is the final week of most teams' playoffs. Then I think because you don't ever want to have fantasy playoffs. What is we go to week 18 now? You don't want 17 or 18.
No.
You don't want those 2 weeks.
I think those are the 2 weeks we are playing.
You can't be playing.
No,
in
we're
week,
16,
you can't be playing
16,
18.
17.
17's risky.
I'm sure we go 16, 17.
17's risky.
Playoffs.
I've
It's
done that a
whatever
little before
it
because
is,
it's
it's just
yeah, but that team that's all of a sudden doing really well and all of a
I
sudden
know.
I'm going to bench
Yeah,
this player. That's where it's
right.
risky.
Oh no, I agree that it's
Oh,
risky.
okay.
I just have no control over how many weeks we actually play in the league.
Well, that's bringing it up to the commission for the offseason.
I know a guy who has time to be a commissioner.
Yeah.
I'm already a CFL fantasy commissioner. I don't
Oh,
need to
I
be
know.
a commissioner of another football league.
Yeah.
The greatest CFL fantasy league there is. There's none better.
The Dunya?
The Dunya, baby.
Dunya.
See?
You know the
It's
story,
known.
right?
It's fully known.
Yep. I do.
Even he knows it.
As he should.
Well, I mean, doesn't
a great
everybody?
league.
It's
It's the best league.
renowned.
It is.
Renowned.
It is.
You gonna spin some rhymes like a lazy Susan?
Oh yeah, you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner. Hit me on the nasty chat if you're digging the way that I be flipping the phrases so ridiculous. Conch me. At 6 o'clock, you can feed me show meat and a cool bet prop, please. We need real ones like Nielsen and LTE. YouTube Trev, Iwanyk, and Tommy G. Matt Cass, the hustler, HR Dad, and your favorite goalie, Joaquin. The clear choice for sports is no competition. If you're debating, you're hating, or you just don't listen.
Damn. Out. I am out.
Boys are loving that one.
Whoa.
Question.
You out of here?
The Caesar,
Yes. All right. Go.
Did
go
you
Steelers.
pre-plan that, or is that like right there? Or?
No. I came up with that this
That was
weekend
sick.
because
Okay.
I knew I needed something for you guys. So
that was incredible.
I don't know.
I'm stunned by
I don't know
that.
it was incredible, but it was all right.
Well, you nailed a lot. Like there was like a checklist of stuff that you
I
just
had to
kept
get it
checking
all.
and stuff.
Yeah, well,
and
I missed Glue Guy.
you missed Klug. That's
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
he's fine. Oh, you got the Husky shirt on and stuff. Yeah, sorry about this.
I
He said as we started the show that he had to leave.
No, it's
and so
good,
there
yeah.
was no planning of this or anything. I wasn't aware of
No
this.
planning is my middle name.
I would have given you a heads
yeah?
up.
Nah,
and
I don't
stuff,
need it.
so-
Can I have one of those though, please? Can I get?
Go get one.
I've said always I'm gonna drink one.
Yes,
if
he
I ever have
always
to,
he loves the Mott's Clamato Caesar, which is
doesn't?
presented. Pardon?
Who doesn't? The pickled bean.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, the
Pickled bean is the way to go. I like the extra spicy. I actually do enjoy that one. Original is my third choice. Like,
Yes.
I will take the other two, but how did the original? Just it's I don't know. There's something about those extra. What do we get? We got the extra spicy over there.
There are very few pre-made beverages. Like if you get a vodka
yeah.
Coke or a Crown Royal and Coke in a can, it doesn't taste good.
No.
But the Caesar, I'd almost prefer the Mott's Clamato canned Caesar to a bar Caesar.
It's
Well, because it's like so hit and miss, and how people do it, and
It's one of the few pre-mixed drinks that actually works.
usually, and I don't mind like the V8, like the canned
Okay,
V8.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really. This is okay. You put a little alcohol in the V8. But yeah,
Yeah,
if you're
sure.
mixing like I don't know, you just kind of maybe want to do that your own way. You know,
Yeah, well, I don't want them pre-mixed.
I don't want to
Rye
pre-smoke
Coke.
smoke in the can. You know, and
so the nasty chat.
Yeah.
Fire. This is amazing. Wow. Damn, my laptop melted. Canola ice.
Yeah.
Hot damn. Bunch of fires. You too, Trev. How sick was that? Dusty Classen just got goated. Aren't you goated?
you were the goat
no,
back in the
just
Napster
got-
days back in
he's-
Saskatoon,
that's
baby.
right.
That's
That's
when
a
I
little
first
He
got wind of
goated
it all.
you. He gave you goat status there. You already were goat for me though, but big you instant goat status right
Napster
there.
days.
So you were.
That's what it was, I think, right? Atmospheric Avenger. Was that
right.
not the old?
Yeah.
In Saskatoon, you did the weather there for a while. Remember,
Yeah.
live on location at the Saskatoon exhibition, and you had
Yes.
the teacup rides in the background, and no, you've been a living legend, and I mean, I grew up with posters of you on my wall for crying. It was like,
Yes.
you were a hit. So,
Yeah.
and now we're here in the Hangout.
I
together.
know.
This is-
Now I have posters of you on my wall. It's a real role reversal.
and you have children that are like of age, college age.
I know. That's crazy, isn't it?
I don't know. This is like a time
One
warp.
is of college age, but he's
okay.
not going to college.
Oh.
He's 18 months into his gap year.
A call out here, a gap year. I like that. Yeah. A little bit of travel, right?
Gap 2 year.
Find
That's
yourself.
That's what he thought
Yeah.
he was going to do. He's like, yeah, I'm going to travel. And then he realized that you need money to travel.
That's a lot of it.
And
Yeah,
then-
that's
quite a bit of it too.
Yeah.
Did you take gap year?
No, I haven't. I graduated high school, went straight to Nate, got a job. I've been in school or working my entire life. So no, did you?
You went to Europe for a bit.
After
Was
high
that-
school, I
yeah.
took a lot of gap years. I took like 5 gap years, just working,
yeah.
partying, working. Went to Europe. It was good, but I found myself going to that RTA program at 25 was a good thing as opposed to going there
Instead
at
of 18,
or 19,
19,
because I was a totally different person. So
Yeah. I mean, it worked out for me, but
Different strokes,
whatever.
different
It is-
folks,
It is
yeah.
what it is. Yeah. So eventually, my kids will find their way. It'll be fine. I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be fine.
you skipped high school to get into RTA. Like you for your last 2 years, you were like, I'll just.
Yeah.
I knew where I was going to RTA.
Yeah.
Like that's what I didn't get in the first semester. I got in the second intake.
Just
so
for
I got
the
in the
numbers
winter.
type of thing, or
English. I think my English mark. English was always my worst subject.
did you? So
Hated
you
it.
had to.
I applied twice.
I took
So
a
didn't
night
get the
English
first
class
one.
as well before I took in
upgrade?
Saskatoon. I had to go, and it was actually pretty neat.
So, but I was working at Sears at the time. So
Yeah.
working, did that. Got to Nate. Then got to 1260. Been there until June. Now doing this. So I've never this summer. Honestly, was one of those
First time.
first summers off, not have any
Yes.
real
A
plans.
schedule and
Yeah.
for since high school, which was, and even early high school, because I used to take some summer school a little bit through a couple of those high schools to
Wow.
fill up some credits.
You took
Just-
summer school and you still didn't get into Nate until
I
January
did different
intake?
courses.
I'm
Did
just
different
giving you a heads
courses.
up.
Different. I still got Rutherford scholarship. Got my money.
Yeah, you did.
All
Yes,
3 years.
That's right. Yeah.
What was
Which
that?
scholarship?
There's a
Rutherford.
scholarship if you
Oh.
average 80% or higher in your grades.
At RTA or
no,
No,
at
in
high
high
school.
school.
Oh, I
Grade
see,
10,
I see,
11,
I see.
12. You got, I can't remember what it was.
$500.
$500. So I got
$500
$1,500
towards your tuition for every year that you get over 80 in grade 10, 11.
And you guys you're both in that club, the English club,
I graduated with ridiculously high marks.
and money.
No money.
No money.
No money.
What was the
Just
ridiculous high marks?
Well,
Were you 90s?
mid 90s. Yeah.
Were you?
Hey.
No way.
Yeah. All just on reputation though.
Study?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like if
You mean just on reputation?
because
I think I know what
in
you're talking.
Lloydminster, the high school was from 8 to 12. And so if you tried and
Yeah,
you
the
were,
same. I
you
mean,
were
no
kinda-
middle. Yeah.
you were kind of smart in grade 8 and 9, then you just got known as like the smart kid. And so you could, I mean, I worked.
Yeah, but if teachers saw your name,
If
they'd
I
be like,
handed
it's
in the
him
same
again.
paper as my buddy who was not a good student, I would get a higher mark than my buddy.
Oh. I was about like 85, 90s.
Yeah.
But I didn't try. I never studied. I never did homework in high school. Like I just stopped caring.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. But you could put the test in front of me and I would be able to get through it.
If you had
Sure.
to.
I pick up enough in class
Yeah.
that I could do, okay, yeah, I could. If I actually studied and tried, I could have probably done something better with my life. I just chose not to.
Well, define better, right? I mean, what are you
Come
doing?
on.
Stuck in a cubicle
I could have done
making
something. I don't know.
You're hosting your own
figure.
show.
I could have been more
Salary.
useful to society in a sense or something. I could have
Yeah.
done more.
There's always
more
volunteering,
options.
Maddie. You can always
More
volunteer.
options. So
We
that
got-
was, but I was one. If it didn't interest me, I didn't care. Weirdly enough, like
Yeah.
social studies always interest me, so I always tried in that class. I always cared about that
Yeah.
one. Like I love poli science. I loved when they talked about history, like that stuff. I cared about. I hated like biology. Couldn't stand biology. Didn't care. So I
But
just
now
wanted to
you
get
incorporate
through
it into your daily life, right? Mitochondria and all that, right? Like you now know, oh, I'm an adult. I can now put these things into play.
Like geometry.
Yeah, well,
I use it every day.
Want to get to movers and shakers. Brought to you by Marco and Mike Realty, Realty One Group Insider. Let Marco and Mike earn your choice. MarcoandMike.com for more information if you're looking to buy or sell a home. We were talking about it quickly earlier, but do you care about the college football playoffs? Where you come out with FSU, Bama, Georgia, Texas?
Well, I thought of you because for the longest time this U Sports season, we were talking about the U of S Huskies and the U of A Golden Bears.
Oh my
and how the
God.
ranking there was, right? But you know what it did?
Didn't even put that into
You know what this
connection
weekend's
there.
little experiment, and then that it's got us talking, and that's all that they. It's pro wrestling. They do it, and I know the whole SEC. I think this can't come as a surprise to people who follow college football. However, it doesn't make it right, and you can't call yourself now a Power 5 conference when you go undefeated. Well, what's the power in that? Residing in a conference like that when you go undefeated, what's the point? What is the point?
And again, so next year it's 12-team playoff. They'll be in.
No,
That's the change
Then
that
it
we're gonna
opens
have
things
with
up
this.
and everything. Yeah, but it's a tough look when you go undefeated, and it's even funnier when they announce Alabama and Michigan sitting there going, "Damn, we didn't get the undefeated team."
Yeah.
They got
It's
the,
all-
I
it's
think
all-
they got the harder opponent.
Michigan?
Washington got the easier opponent. Texas over Alabama.
Oh
in my
yeah.
opinion, With the
Oh,
way they're playing right
absolutely.
now.
Yeah.
So Michigan, to me, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have a tougher time. Here's the thing: I'm intrigued for the Orange Bowl, Georgia versus Florida State.
Now that's gonna be
If
fun.
Florida State goes and wins,
That's your real national championship.
they'll claim
It's-
it.
Yeah, for the OG.
You claim-
That's your yeah.
We're the national champs.
All the cool people who go watching the
Look,
Orange
we're
Bowl, yeah.
still undefeated. We're the champs. They kept us out because they didn't want to play us.
Yep.
That's what it is. If they get destroyed, their narrative goes away.
There have been like shares of the national championship in years past, right? Prior to
BCS years and stuff.
BCS,
We've had
you-
some things. The 1 year through the playoffs, it happens. No one believes into it though. It's Scott Frost. Where was he before he went to Nebraska? Oh, geez, they went undefeated, but they didn't get in the playoffs because they weren't Power 5. And everyone's like, "Well, you don't deserve to get into the playoffs compared to these teams."
Sure.
And they got left out. They won their bowl game. They stayed undefeated, and they claimed national championship status. And
Yeah, you just claimed
but
it.
everyone was just like, "No, you're not national champ. I'm sorry, you're not that good."
come take it
What
from us.
school was that one now?
Well, it's just funny because I know they want to avoid the playoff gazumping of that one team that gets in, and then the
Right,
weaker
and then they
conference,
get
then you get it. It's like, oh, look at this! What a circus! This is stupid. So I understand it. Maybe but it always leaves space for the argument, and that's what you want in this. Like, it's this never-ending argument. It's brilliant stuff. It really is. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
and now opening it up to more teams is just going to make.
UCF. That's
Oh,
what
the
it
old
was.
Central Florida. Eh?
Yes, they had a year where they.
I recall that.
Yeah,
now.
see,
yeah.
Even Wikipedia claimed national titles. Won in 2017. They
You get
claimed
like a
it
tax
because
write-off if you even claim it. Like,
Yeah.
I've claimed, and you put that down. Oh, well.
they went 13-0, and then they won the Peach Bowl against Auburn, and so they claimed the national championship.
Well,
Why not?
They sold some
was there
shirts
anybody good on that team?
on that UCF team. Let's find
They
out.
must have had some guys that.
And you're right,
went
selling
on.
shirts, like, claim national champion, you make money.
Yes.
That's printing money right there. Yeah.
None of these names are jumping off the page to me.
No.
The majority of them don't even have Wikipedia pages.
Oh, wow.
That sucks.
Traquan Smith sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos wide receiver,
Yeah.
drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
So there was him.
Broncos, yeah.
Gabe Davis.
Okay, Gabe Davis.
Davis
There you go.
was on that team.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Otis
Yeah, your
Anderson
Bills are having
Jr.
We don't need to. Listen, misery loves company, eh? Different forms, but nonetheless. Wait, we're
It
in the
doesn't
hunt.
get
We're in the hunt.
get easier for you guys. For
Not
the
at
next
all.
two.
No, it gets tougher.
No.
Did you see the Bills next two?
We get
No.
the Chargers, though. Chargers and Cowboys, correct?
At the
We'll
end
beat
of
the
the
Chargers.
At the end of the season, it's great, but you could be 6-8 after the next two
Yeah.
games. They get the Chiefs and they get the Cowboys.
Chiefs, Cowboys, then Chargers, though.
Then it's easy.
Yeah.
Because you get Cowboys.
Lose two, win out.
Then you get Chargers. Who did you have?
Chargers, Cowboys, Chiefs,
Cowboys.
Let me
Chargers.
pull up. They do play the Bills last game of the season. Where for the Bills, they might be done. Or
They play the
Dolphins.
Bills.
Or sorry,
They
the
are the
Dolphins. The Dolphins play the
Yeah,
Bills.
yes.
The Dolphins might be done.
Yeah.
The Dolphins might be in a situation where we're ready for the playoffs. We're resting. That opens up the door for the Bills to get it. The Buffalo Bills end of the season.
It's BS. That AFC playoff picture is just hot.
You've got Chiefs,
Boy.
Cowboys, Chiefs on the road, home to the Cowboys,
Chiefs on the road.
in LA for the
And
Chargers.
after losing last night, the Chiefs are not going to be.
They're going to be fired up.
Well, yeah.
And then you
At
guys,
Arrowhead, too.
you guys are home to the wonderful Patriots.
Yeah.
And then you guys get the Dolphins. Imagine if they lose that one.
The Dolphins.
The Bills losing to the Patriots.
Patriots, they're not going to
You
lose
can't.
to the Patriots.
Well,
Well,
then
that
it-
would
then
be
it's all-
that would be something like that. The story.
Well, it's quite a legacy tour for one Bill Belichick here to kind of see things out. I mean,
Yeah.
what a way to go out, hey? Like you
Farewell
kinda-
tour.
I could see him getting fired up for that last. I don't know. I don't care about the Bills right now.
Really?
I just sports is such a give and take for me in terms of emotion sharing.
Sure.
And if you're not going to you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to kind of believe, and I'm still on it, but I'm not going to sit here when the Broncos and the what have yous in the
Yeah.
AFCs are just going to casually the Colts are going to be a wild card team.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
And here we are in the hunt, and we're going to miss out, and it's schedule strength, and I get all that, but
As of right now, the AFC picture is Miami, Baltimore, Jacksonville, KC, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and the Colts.
Pittsburgh.
With the first team out being the Texans.
then that's
Then the Broncos.
That's BS.
Then you got
Yeah.
Buffalo, Bills, Chargers. Three teams that I think at the start of the season we would have been like, well, they're playoff
sure,
teams.
yeah.
absolutely
Easily.
and then go over half of those teams. None of them are making it. Like there's no Cinderella story here.
No.
Prove me wrong. I mean, I'd love to see it,
Bills,
but I mean,
I
all
still
those
think could-
you got the heavy hitters. Bills
get
could do
it.
it. Yeah, they have the
Because of
weaponry.
that stretch of
Right.
teams that they have.
But I mean, like Broncos, Colts. Oh, it's just even the Steelers losing Pickett too. Like you trade the Texans for the Steelers. Put the Texans in that spot. I'd say
Yes.
they
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
rightfully. I mean, they're not
Yep.
there record wise, but Steelers just can't.
Does Belichick move to LA? Is that the spot to go to with
Is that the
Herbert?
rumor?
Well, the rumor is he's leaving.
Really?
You haven't heard those?
No.
This has
Talk
got to
is
be it.
At the end of the year,
And this
they
is
will
the
part
legacy,
ways,
yeah.
And Bill Belichick will go somewhere else. Washington has been thrown out there. I think Carolina's kind of been thrown out there, but there's no chance he's going to go to Carolina with that owner.
No,
Does anybody want? Do you want Belichick?
If I have a team that's ready to win,
But a franchise like the Chargers, I could see because it's a splash and it's
Well,
a market where they're kind of lost in the shuffle
I
and
have a
maybe
team-
it's a
like Justin
splash
Herbert.
but in name only. But
I know.
He's not a splash.
Oh no, and I don't see them
Yeah.
doing things that.
but is the
Are smart.
issue
He would be terrible in LA.
is the issue
Terrible.
Bill Belichick as coach or is it Bill Belichick as GM?
Well, I don't know.
I think Bill Belichick GM has now failed Bill Belichick coach, and I think there's still a coach there. That if I'm the Chargers and I'm sitting there and going, I got a quarterback, he doesn't have to go find another quarterback. I've got receivers.
If you're looking to make a jump
He's a
to
more defensive guy, so maybe he could fix the defense a little, or like get
Yep.
the defense up there. That's
Championship
I'm ready
pedigree.
to take that jump. I'm taking a shot at Bill Belichick.
My Patriot hate clouds all my judgment on
Of course it does.
I want no piece of Bill Belichick.
No,
If I'm any other
do you want
Not
him though?
now.
Do you fade
Not
into
now.
like obscurity now as the season is going, or do you?
what a
Leave-
storyline
leave it.
that
It's
would
fine.
be.
Well-
He goes to the Jets.
Finally.
Right? Like that's the thing. Like that would be so that would be so scripted. Like the NFL is full.
Yeah.
This
But
is
you-
wrestling.
You're a
He
Salah
goes there.
guy, correct?
Oh yeah,
You're,
no.
you bought in.
All
You're
this
full
talk
in. You're
about
yeah.
Salah needing to go.
He's your guy though.
Joe Douglas, okay, maybe, but no, Salah's got to stay.
You like him, yeah.
Got to stay.
Yeah.
And you can't, even Joe Douglas, you can't. They built this entire season around Aaron Rodgers,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 plays in, it got thrown out, and so you can't rest of the season is what it is.
And as you say, good defense. You have a bit of a plan going. You just kind of keep
we
going.
just need a half decent quarterback. You just need a half decent quarterback. That's all you need. You don't need it.
But
You
when
you guys are in the mix more than you should be at this stage, given that you don't have a half decent quarterback.
Yes.
That's kind of
when do the Jets go and get the actual franchise quarterback?
They don't.
Ever?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, when do you draft one?
Well, that's
Or
like,
maybe
do you
that's
not
the
have
case,
to draft one and take them another shot
how
this
many
year
franchise
and let them
quarterbacks have we
sit
drafted?
behind? No,
We've drafted like
but you
6
gotta.
of them.
do you let them sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year? Is that the perfect way to do it? Go draft that quarterback. He doesn't play year one. He's the backup to Aaron Rodgers. Unless Aaron Rodgers goes down in the fifth play of the game.
You're going to need someone who can play next year.
It's too bad for you because there's such a good
Rodgers.
quarterback at USC.
But if you're so used to
That
that
if you didn't have such a damn good defense, man. Rodgers getting hurt when he did, you'd been like, yeah, free ticket. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bought him out and
Yeah.
Caleb Williams won't be a good NFL quarterback.
not good NFL quarterback? No.
No, they need to
I don't
draft
think he will
someone.
be.
Why?
They need to draft someone in like the 4th round.
You want
Just
one of those
develop.
guys. Yeah.
Just-
An irrelevant Purdy of
Yeah.
sorts. Yeah.
I've seen too
There's
many-
got to be a
I've seen
backup
too
quarterback you
many
can get
of
this year.
these.
Get in Aaron Rodgers, bring in another backup quarterback, like a Nick Foles somewhere, and then have the guy be number 3.
No. No. No.
Nick Foles is a great backup.
No.
What's wrong with that?
I don't want Nick Foles backing
Okay,
up
well, like,
Aaron Rodgers.
why not?
No, there's got to be someone else out there. Someone else.
Now you're getting really picky.
I'm not getting
Jets fans are
picky.
being a little picky
all
here.
I want.
You let Mike White walk.
I want.
That's the issue.
You let
I know,
Mike White
I know,
walk.
I know.
You
What a
let, him walk,
sentence.
you let him walk to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And he's
Division rival.
He's been
Yeah.
fantastic in my.
Yeah.
What about Mac Jones?
No, I want no part of Mac Jones either. Mac Jones.
Mitch Trubisky.
Nope.
Is he still
Mitch
around?
Trubisky, yeah, well,
Marcus
he-
Mariota. I noticed he's still in the league yesterday.
No. No.
There are a lot of those in
Yeah.
the NFL. A
I
lot
was-
of those. Hey, no.
Still
Hey,
kicking
what about that?
around,
No.
but
Credit to Mariota. There's a guy that high pick that could have easily just retired, been
Dual
done,
threat.
and
Dual
just
threat.
went. I tried. I'm not going to be a starter,
Sure.
but still sticking around as a backup. Like, good on you. I like those quarterbacks. Keep
Well,
going.
the ones
keep
that
it
had a
tough and out. high
high,
ceiling.
yeah.
They could just be over, and
Take
it's
your
never
money
going
and
to happen
leave.
anymore. I'm
Yeah.
done. I've made some money. It's time to move on with the next stage of my life. But he's going, I could be a backup. I could be around. So there you go, Marcus
why
Mariota.
not? It's a great backup quarterback for an NFL team is a great job.
I mean,
Number
as a Bills
three.
fan, I
Unless
always
you're
think
the backup
Peterman.
Number
as,
three.
Peterman.
Yes.
You want to be number 3.
Nathan.
But that's like that's my
Nathan?
quintessential example of like just
Yes.
mediocre NFL journeyman guy.
So
You want to take a snap? Yeah, I can do it.
me and JMO were once talking about him. We found out he had a website.
Peterman.
Yes, Nathan
yeah.
Peterman had a website. You could at one point you could buy Nathan Peterman throw pillows for like $40.
like
You're
his brand.
It was,
No
his,
teams.
it was
It's
just
just-
it was his website. You could buy something, and of all the things he threw up there were throw pillows for your bed.
There's got to be a joke
They
in
were
here
like,
somewhere.
Why would you want Nathan Peterman
Peterman
throw
throw pillows?
He had like
I-
the worst record with the Bills to start for those first couple of years.
No, it was-
or first couple of
But
starts.
it was Peterman. It was just the whole like. it
Oh, I
was
know.
So vanilla and just plain and. That time of being a Bills fan with the quarterbacks, the long lists and sheets. I mean, there's boxes somewhere in a storage room listing all the quarterbacks that they went through. The Lossmans, the Petermans, the on and on and on. Gino, I think, was one of them at one point in time. You're Gino, was he not? Gino,
Does that hurt?
That Gino's good now?
Yeah.
because that's another name that I kind of didn't want to.
Or
bit.
do you realize that he would have never done it? With
No,
New
he
York?
wouldn't have done
Yeah,
it
okay.
with
Situationally
yeah.
speaking, eh?
It's like the Oilers and goalies, right?
Yeah.
Like Dubnyk wasn't going to become Dubnyk if he just
He needed Sean Burke.
Yeah.
Caleros with an offensive line. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, just not getting hurt.
He's ready. We all said it was a danger to start him in another football game, and then he wins multiple Grey Cups.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I should have
sport,
asked
eh?
you when Tommy was here.
Fajardo.
Fajardo. Well,
Right,
but he
he was-
bum knee.
Yeah.
But again, different scenarios, different situations, different
My
supporting
mom
cast.
is a big Riders fan, and she was so happy for him.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm so happy for that Fajardo.
he single-handedly won them the Grey Cup
Completely.
on that play that Anthony Calvillo dialed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
for
really
him.
love promoting the Anthony Calvillo angle
I
of all
just
this.
think that he's not getting enough credit for doing all of that. What's the one change? Moss moves from OC to HC in Montreal, right?
Yeah,
So now he's the head coach. He's
Yeah.
got the vibe, but he's not calling the plays. Fajardo moves there. Who's calling the plays? Anthony Calvillo. It didn't get.
He's like the biggest booster right now.
It's the
AC.
one change,
Winning-
aside from going to
Yes.
a different team and a different O line.
I meant to ask this when Tommy was here, but I didn't. Should the CFL get rid of the Rouge or keep it?
Oh, I meant to bring this up too when Tommy was still here. I think we got to keep it.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
What are you gonna go to 11 players and
Thank you.
field?
It's just the first because he'll say.
What is this exhibition game in Winnipeg here?
If Tommy was
you gonna
sitting
move
here,
the-
he'd be like, "This is.
move
I'm
the
not changing
goalposts
anything
back?
else. I'm not going to change anything. No, it's just this
Yeah.
one rule change. But it's the start of you change this, you're going to start changing everything else.
Yeah, no. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
And
In fact, if Grey Cup was ever won on a Rouge, it'd be fantastic.
It'd be like college
Big-
football
it'd be
players. It'd
great.
just be a big story.
But people would be talking.
It'd be-
And it was like,
everyone
oh,
would
this is
be
going to
talking.
ruin college football. No, it's not. It's just
Yep.
people are talking about it. That's the whole point.
Be fine.
Yes. And again, it's not a loser. The whole narrative of the loser,
Points.
it's to encourage play
Yes.
and not have a touchback every single time a ball is kicked.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it.
I'm not finding a lot of people that want to get rid of it.
This is just a good
Even
railroading
though
Tommy
Tom
bits now.
Gazzola and Sean Bell just are full. Like everyone wants to get rid of it. Everyone. And
Sean
like,
gets mad. Like he
And
gets
now I'm like, everyone I'm finding is like, no, you keep it still. You just keep it. And it's just like, yeah, no, it's part of the fabric of the game. And that's the way
part
it
of
should
the strategy, really, in the
It
end,
should
too.
be.
Yeah.
One day we'll add the 4 points though in the NBA.
4 points for a half quarter.
I bet one day we could see that coming. Somebody's going to throw that out.
Quarter. A 3/4 shot. Some sort
From
of.
your own 3-point
You have the
line.
arc, but then you have a giant
If you're
rectangle.
inside your three, if you're inside your
own
3-point,
line.
that's a 4-point play right there. Well, I actually, here's the one thing the XFL did, the one before COVID, the second edition,
Okay.
the 9-point touchdown.
yeah.
And I'm always intrigued when, did you not?
touchdown?
So what happens is
I didn't watch any XFL.
So you
Oh,
have,
you didn't.
when you score a touchdown,
No. And they're merging though.
Football
I hear,
guy,
right?
yeah.
Are they?
yeah, and there's going to be less teams because there's only 8 total now. So there used to be the USFL and the XFL.
Yeah.
They each had like 8 teams or whatever it was. Now there's only going to be 8 in general. So there's
Have fun bearing a bad game.
So what happens if you score a touchdown? There's no kicking of an extra point. You went for it from. I might get the yards wrong.
Oh,
But if you
it
go
was
from
always a
3,
2-point conversion,
it's a
but
1-point
was-
play. If you go from the 5, it's a 2-point play. If you go from the 10, it's a 3-point
And you
play.
choose
Oh.
which. Yeah.
So you could get as much as a 9-point play because if you choose to go from the 10 and you get it, it's a 3-point. So 6 plus 3, 9. There's your 9-point play. And I'm intrigued to see when someone throws it out there in the NFL.
Seems a little gimmicky to me.
It does,
I
but
don't really like it.
you didn't even watch it.
Nah, yeah, just the concept.
All
of
you
it.
gotta do is
didn't
tell
watch
him.
it.
He's not,
You
he's
didn't
not
even
anything
watch
to do
it.
with it.
No. You didn't see a second of it.
Yeah, no. This might
Somebody's
be
gonna
like
throw
the
it out the
in-season
NFL.
tournament, though. You might be, you maybe.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm fully on board with this one. I'm just saying, like, the XFL's had some rules that have, some of the things have been adopted over sport, or, from the first time. There'll be someone that comes up into the NFL and the competition committee and says, what do you guys think about this 9-point play? And then it'll start getting talked
Well,
about.
what is it with sports though? Is it are we so into the routine and baked into tradition that we get more pissed off when something's taken away or something kooky is added on to it? Right? Like, don't get rid of the Rouge. It's part of. You can even. There could be people that don't even maybe understand the Rouge, but they're like, oh, it's part of the game, right? Like, just for an example,
Right.
But then you could be like, you could come up with a real great idea that perhaps in the moment is seen as, oh, this is wild. You're changing the fabric and the tradition and yada yada.
In-season
But
tournament.
if it's incorporated,
You think that's a good idea, though?
what, the in-season tournament?
No,
No,
or
three-point
the
Well, just in
3-point,
theory, though,
5-point.
like it gives the team multiple examples on that play. So you're not just getting again.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go to the kick, we go through the motion, it's a touchback, blah blah blah. So now, as the viewer, I don't know what that coach is. 3 options to pick from. I don't know what's coming. You get the 3 and they're all different, and so that adds a little bit of spice to it. But again, what's the line where it goes into a
Right.
carnival show and we're giving out prizes to the viewer or something like that? I just don't know. What would you rather have, something removed from your traditional game or something weird added? I just don't know what pisses off more when it comes to change.
Here's where I didn't mind it is the football play. Right? Like, if I choose to go for 3 points, I have to make a football play. It's not like a shootout in hockey. We're going to decide the winner based on this skills competition.
everybody
this
on the-
is just
yeah.
I get one play at this, just like I did for 2 points.
Right.
But I could get a third point out of this, and I don't mind it. I don't know if we need to necessarily go get 3 points to award a 9-point play, but it's one of those things. I wouldn't be shocked if the NBA eventually, because I've heard actually the 4-point conversation at times in the NBA over the last few years.
Really?
I've heard it be thrown
But it's not-
out
it's
there.
not tossing it from the
It's very
three-pointer
pie
line.
in the sky right now.
Yeah.
But it's thrown out there as, hey, what about a 4-point play or something? You know, all the sports always have those conversations. Soccer has big discussions. Soccer's being discussed, and I don't know if it'll ever fully fly, but it's being discussed of going to, what is it, a 60-minute match?
They want to stop time when it
They
goes
want
on
to
a play.
stop time though, and there's like some seismic changes that they've thrown out there that the traditionalists are sitting there going, not a chance will you bring that in. But you always throw those little ideas out there to see what could fly.
Yeah, I'm on standby.
I've heard that 4-point in the NBA. I wouldn't be surprised if the thing for football, especially NFL in general, moving forward is, do we go to a 3-point potential play?
Right.
Where is that 4-point play in NBA though? Like I know we're joking. You shoot it from. Do you
Far
have
away.
the key, the 3-pointer, and then you have a rectangle, a 4-point
I
rectangle?
think it would have been half court.
just below half. Yeah,
I think it would have been half court type thing.
Yeah,
Because we're seeing some guys that they could just,
guys can shoot.
it's incredible
Yeah.
what they could do these days. They're in games. They're taking shots from the logo. You know,
Yes.
Yeah, basketball's a changed game than what it used to be. You reward that.
I'm just trying to
You
think
try
how
to
that
draw it out
works.
more.
half court or
Half court.
Just below half court. You have a big
Yeah.
rectangle, a
Yeah.
big. You get like a foot or two in
what do
between.
you mean? How it would work?
I'm just trying to in my head.
Like
He's
like
painting the lines.
As
At
as you're-
points
as you're
or-
playing.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're stepping back.
But you got to do it before the.
Yeah.
I guess it would unless they. I guess you can't do it the over and back.
No, that's
the
what I was
thing.
thinking is the over and back issue.
So maybe they put a fourth
I
line
don't know.
somewhere. I don't know.
It's
that
it's
one
not
I
actually.
I wouldn't like that one.
But you're talking about the sport.
Yep.
Whether or not
When
you
it's how you
institute
can-
these things
actually,
is something to bring up. You float it in there. People get mad.
When it came to NBA, I would have put some money down that one day would maybe see the Elam ending added,
yes.
I like that. I like the Elam ending.
but they got rid of it from the All Star game.
They
They're
got
going
rid of
back
it from the All-Star
this year.
game?
They're
This
going.
year?
They're moved away from it now. They're
Really?
going back to a more traditional game. And
Why?
And people really
Like, why?
like the Elam ending and stuff. And that was when I thought maybe one day, if there's going to be a change in basketball, we'd go to that Elam ending, which is what they do at Stingers
Why would they
games and
remove it
stuff.
though from the? Was there such a demand that?
I don't know.
People just didn't like it.
So, but like the first couple years, people loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Maybe this year people really absolutely hated it or something. I don't know. They moved it away
I think
and
it's,
we're not
it's
going
a
away.
great way to end a basketball game.
Yeah.
I agree. Like it's one of those. If a game is completely a blowout, we're done soon.
Yes.
Like we could just we're
Yep.
not.
Well, especially
going
no
through
offense, but
this.
CEBL is not on the commercial
Yes.
NBA, and I mean even the college football. I mean, you commercialize every little
Yes.
breath and and the
Yes.
money making. But for the CEBL, I think just that's a fascinating and fun way to end games and wrap things up.
And I don't know. I thought it was great in the All Star. It may actually watched a couple of the All Star games
Because you want
till
to
the
see.
end.
Yeah.
Well, just also was.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Hey, it's the first
Yeah.
one to get
Yeah.
to 200.
But what I wonder why would they take that off?
When you explain
Yeah.
it
It's
to
like
people,
call to-
Who was demanding it?
Yeah.
when you try to explain
an
it to people, it is
All-Star.
weird.
Yeah,
But
but once you see it
in
one
action,
taste, yeah.
you understand.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they got rid of that. So I don't think we'll see that in the NBA moving forward. I would think because unless we start pushing for it, the petition starts here.
Bring it
Okay.
back.
The three of us
Yep.
sign it.
Bring it back.
Elam ending for the NBA All Star.
Elam beginning is what we call it. We kind of like
The
we
beginning
put out a
of the
big
Elam
press
ending.
release. We got Association City.
So,
Yeah.
are the Knicks going to win the tournament? Let's put
In
it
the
out
in-season
there.
tournament?
Yeah,
No.
let's see.
Oh,
Did they beat
you're in
Milwaukee?
the dance now, though. Hey,
Did they beat Milwaukee?
No.
no,
So you guys are quarterfinalists.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
That's good.
Probably. I would love
3-1 record.
them too.
You just need this win. Big win tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't see it.
Roll the momentum.
because
Go to
you
Vegas.
mentioned the record. You can start talking already. We're really good in the tournament play.
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
might
yeah,
like
yeah,
Bucks
yeah.
and Knicks. Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But in tournament play,
It's a different story.
Different story.
Bucks can't handle the Knicks in tournament
That's
play.
what I'm saying.
The emotion, they can't deal with
The
it.
emotions.
Yeah, no.
The romance of the cup, if you will.
Is the cup going to be in house?
I think if it was more than just a one game, they would have a better shot.
Oh.
Knicks would have a better shot.
It's like a best of 3?
Couple cracks, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I like the way this Knicks team plays. I think in a one-off, Milwaukee's
tough, yeah.
probably the better team. And I know everybody says the better team always wins if you drag it out, but I think the Knicks would have a better chance if they dragged it out a little bit.
Did they win a playoff round this year?
Yes.
And that's a win.
2.
I like that
We're
conference.
going to the Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference Finals.
UCF, baby.
Oh, I don't think the...
Hey,
How big of a deal?
Whoa, no.
How big of a deal would, like... like the Knicks getting to a conference final
Yes.
TV-wise?
Enormous.
I don't know if, like... When would have the last time that been? 94. Would have it has it happened since like 94 and all
No,
that?
would have been like those, not the
It wouldn't have been since Linsanity that you would have
Early
hit such
2000s?
heights.
no. Oh, Linsanity was great.
But like getting
That
that
was
brand out there
unreal.
with that type of attention to it.
Linsanity.
But that like to have the Knicks in a conference finals in a Final Four
early 2000s.
be a big deal. I think that was the year. I think they knocked off the Raptors in a playoff series or something like that. I could be misremembering that.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. The NBA would love that. Because
NBA needs that. They don't need it maybe, but they
no,
it would
but
be
the
Big market
Celtics
team.
have been there. The
with all
Lakers
the new
have been
things
there.
they do, a traditional, MSG and
They haven't had New York really.
Yeah,
There,
yeah.
The NBA in forever. All the other leagues, even the Jets have been there. You know,
Hey,
the,
don't
the
sleep on
Giants
Brooklyn. They
have
had
won
the
Super
big
Bowls.
three, remember?
Hey, Rangers have gone to Cup Finals. Devils have won.
Yeah.
You know, baseball, the Yankees have won. The
even the
Mets have been
soccer's
pretty good.
been steady.
Basketball just hasn't got that. If you get to a Final Four with the Knicks and MSG, like how crazy would MSG
After
be?
a quarterfinals
How
appearance in the
many
in-season
celebs
tournament,
would show up?
It would be
right? Quarterfinals plus a final four.
Well, you
Huge.
carry the momentum from the in-season tournament into the playoffs.
This is what takes it. This is what takes them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cup run.
See, this is why they need to give them a guaranteed 6 seed.
But
Although
you guys are
they'll
good
be in
playoffs.
anyways. They'll be in.
What's your standings right now?
They're 2 games, 3 games over.
Oh, is that what you're
500?
saying? For the winner, you get that.
Shouldn't
I
they-
like this?
Shouldn't the winner of the
I
in-season
like
tournament
this.
get a
Yeah.
guaranteed 6 seed?
Cash and yes,
Guaranteed
cash
6
and
seed.
yeah. I
Well,
like that.
It's not a home,
Nope,
and you
nope.
can advance on that if you are
if you
higher
are
in
yeah.
the rankings. It's
I like
higher
that.
in the rankings.
No,
What did you think the team was? Did you say it's 2 games above 500 or something?
They're 3 games over 500, aren't they?
12-7. 5 games above.
Oh, look at that.
Look at you guys go.
Yeah.
5th in the East.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're actually tied with the 76ers. So you're technically tied for
cautious
4th.
optimism. Hey, is what you're
There. You're only a game and a half back of the Bucks. It's winnable. Tomorrow's winnable. You guys are 8-2 in 10-point games, 2-1 in 3-point games. This is a new type of standings from ESPN I've never seen before.
So you're saying they have a chance? I like this. We're warming
this
things
isn't
up
going
now.
to go well.
No, it's
turning
not.
into a
I don't
pick-up
want
now.
to go here with this, but
Yeah.
your record against teams below 500,
Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
10-0.
Yeah.
Records
Wow.
against teams 500 and above,
Yeah.
2-7.
Ooh, that's not too good. Yeah, that's. And how are the Bucks again?
The Bucks,
They are over.
They're
500.
over.
they're
confirmed,
6-3, 500 and above, 8-3 below 500.
Yeah.
So they're 14-6.
But you know what? One night,
It
one
just
game,
takes one.
winner.
Hey, they're only 3-2 in 3-point games, 4-3 in 10-point games. So there you
I'm
go.
just telling you, from what I've seen
You know something?
of the Knicks
Cautious
this
optimism.
year,
I'll say this:
I do not think they're going to beat Milwaukee next year. But they'll be in the playoffs.
The Knicks get to the semifinals of the in-season tournament. I'll call
Wow. Okay.
it. That's what I'll say.
But don't make the playoffs.
And then
They'll make the playoffs, but I'm not going to go anywhere.
Then they lose to the Pacers.
What were the other 2
Pacers
teams?
play the Celtics.
Pacers, Celtics, yeah. And then Lakers,
Celtics,
dude.
Celtics beat them.
Crush them.
Yeah.
Celtics. Hey, look. For the NBA, we're talking about TV numbers.
Yeah,
Get
right.
Celtics, Knicks.
Although I thought I heard
in-season
that
tournaments.
Halliburton might not be able to play that game, which would mean Boston would crush them even worse.
LeBron and the Lakers taking on the Knicks or the Celtics in the NBA in-season tournaments. It's going to get rigged that
telling
way.
you boys,
I'll tell you that right
telling
now.
you
The
boys,
NBA,
we all win
The
off that one.
NBA is going to help to try to make that one happen. If we watch those games and go, why are the calls going certain teams' ways? It's because the NBA wants first
And the
in-season
entire-
tournaments.
If the Lakers can beat Phoenix,
That's going to be tough. That's going to be
then
difficult.
there's
Phoenix
no
have been
reason-
fading though as of late. Stinking, eh? But I'm talking regular season play, not in season tournament.
The
play.
thing about the in-season, Josh brought it up earlier, though. LeBron wants this.
Why
To
not?
win the first.
Why not?
For the resume.
As he should, yeah, that'd be
To
great.
be the
Yeah.
first one to go win this.
Yeah.
They're going to go all out to get this.
As he should.
Like, if they get...
There's probably no one else in the league right now who wants it as much as he does. The first
Guaranteed.
one. Giannis doesn't really care.
What case are you making for anybody else? I guess that's the.
Jason Tatum doesn't really care about the.
Who would you make a case that
Right?
would care?
It's
like
tough to go around
KD.
and-
Does KD really care?
No, does
about,
KD care about anything?
Compared to LeBron's, though, you can't argue. It's right. Like that would be.
KD doesn't seem like he cares
Maybe
about
the
much.
Pels, because the Pels aren't
Yeah.
gonna. They're never gonna win a championship. But this could be.
What
their
about Alabama's
NBA
football team?
Cup.
And
Maybe
that-
they get in somehow. Hey, last second they get they're courtside watching.
But that's the key that we've said about what's in season tournament. It's not always about the top teams. It's about those teams that can't go
know.
win the title.
Yeah.
It's to go win this potentially because it's
Something
your
to do.
championship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans, it would be that. Hey, the Suns have never won an NBA title.
No,
They should care about
You could
this
print
one a little
shirts
bit.
off this, right?
Yeah.
You could probably sell shirts.
There'll be.
caps.
Will there be a parade? You think someone goes far enough to do a little bit of a parade?
What's the low key? Maybe you go like a wing night. You know, you meet the team out at
Or like a big. I drove by Shanks this weekend.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I know.
It's
We did
tough,
too.
man. It's-
I want to get back in there so bad.
I know.
such
Just because
whimsy. Hey,
maybe Marco Mike could get us in there.
just to
Marco
get in.
Mike Realty. Just to we're touring it for.
I told you I wanted it a medieval dinner theater. You know, when you go and you eat the meat off the bone.
yes,
It's got the size.
Medieval times.
Yeah.
Where are you going for dinner tonight?
Come on.
Medieval times were great.
I mean, it's a no-brainer in that area, right? Like that huge building, you could kind of dig out a pit if you wanted and have a way.
just a bunch of golf simulators.
What is gonna happen to that? Like,
It's too big.
it's way
it's
too
like
big
can't-
for.
you can't-
I'm waiting for
justify.
someone to just put it up for cheap just to get rid of it, and I want it.
Like you could do a downsized version of TGL in there.
You could a 2023
We'll do it with
Right?
just Canadians or something.
Just giant screens.
We'll convince-
virtual golf. You could set up you've got the putting greens there.
Adam Hadwin,
already.
Nick Taylor. We'll convince them
Set up
to
a
come.
chipping. Yes.
You'll be
kinda
part of the
disappointed-
We'll be
kinda
the Canadian launch.
TGL is
You got
not
lots of parking.
coming this year. That's
you know,
But they've added those extra new business buildings that have eaten some of that.
tear them down. Like I think we're talking TJ. Everybody's gonna be like, yeah, I hear. Like,
Are you interested in TJ? Like, will you watch that?
I'll watch it. For
I'm
sure.
intrigued to see
Yeah.
how it plays out. This is the simulation golf league.
No, you're not in.
no. As much interest as that is, what you didn't watch the before that we were talking about No, I no interest, none at all.
I'm intrigued to see how it goes. I'm also intrigued. Like, there's golf season again. Golf season begins right away.
Yeah.
Like, well, the new season
season
has
never
begun
dies, it's
officially.
never
No,
done,
it doesn't.
right? Like-
But like, it's beginning January. So the new season really starts.
But how
going,
does
so I don't
this
know how this
involve
fix
with
it.
the live?
It's not.
It's not. It's not
Riddle
even.
me
It's
that.
not even.
Totally
It's
separate.
not even PGA. It's Tiger and Rory.
Which is why Rom pulled out a TGL because he's going to live.
Well, somebody also said it's
He's
Tiger.
going to want to live. Is that the?
He's going to live.
He's going to live his life.
Yeah.
Well, but this is a league now of
Yes,
its
it
own.
will
And
be
if
a
you're
league.
in the TGL, you can't go to the PGA.
No,
or the
no,
league.
you
you
can't.
can.
It's the PGA.
It's virtual golf.
It's just virtual golf.
So it's not.
It's in an
It's
arena.
in a golf
fake?
dome, and you hit it
It's-
into a thing, but then you also have to chip. They have bunkers, and then you have to chip, and then there's putting greens.
Tiger and
they-
Rory fits their.
And they just play it against each other, and
We're gonna learn this. Well,
Yeah,
it starts
well,
next year, and there's gonna
it's
be
like a-
matchups and
How many?
3 versus 3.
How many seats? in
Isn't
that
it like
arena?
a few thousand?
Yeah, I think it's like 6,000 seat arena.
Remember the Sands Golf Dome?
Yes.
Long Branch, eh?
Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time in the Long Branch.
They made you turn your hat around if you were wearing it backwards. It was the kind of the thing. I'm intrigued, but I will not watch.
Josh, thanks for coming in on the
it
Hangout.
over?
We really appreciate it.
no,
this
thanks
was
for having
blast.
me.
Thank you
That's
for
great.
Great
spitting
seeing you,
out
man.
some
Yeah, you too.
some rhymes. I believe is what they call it.
Yes. Yeah. It's hot flames.
We'll have to cut that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was the Winter Festival called again?
Winterruption.
Winterruption.
January 24th.
YEG.com.
Are you playing?
Jan
performing?
24.
Yeah.
He's performing. He's performing.
But for those of us that may have missed,
Well,
is there a day? Or, yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking. We've done, my buddy RJ and I. We got a group called Jing and Jock. He's Jing. I'm Jock. Because you remember rappers back in the day used to they all had to be acronyms.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jock is juggling omnipotent content. And so we Jing and Jock are performing the 24th of January.
24th of January. What's the locale? Rocky Mountain.
Winterruption.
YEG.com. We'll have all the info.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I know I think Whale and the Wolf Boys played last year, I do believe. But it's kind of a rotating venue.
There's a
all
whole
around.
bunch of different shows going on.
Oh, I'm excited now.
Jay
Christmas
Newmark.
comes early.
Yeah.
You're on the news tonight?
I will be
6?
on the news tonight, yes.
Get your weather, 5 and 6, CTV Edmonton. Again, thank you for coming in.
Hey, anytime. This is great.
Behalf of Lieutenant Eric, Tom Gazzola, Josh Classen, I'm Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar. Coming up at noon, it is the oil stream, but next it is the Lock Shop with Dusty and Huss right here on Edmonton Sports Talk.